let's get ready for today's stream. Alright, well, we do have one new mod today. Not a big change or anything, but there is a nice cosmetic mod that is going to allow us to assign medals to soldiers, which I think might be fun. I might not use it too much for this campaign anymore, since a lot of the fun stuff has already passed, but we'll probably use it for the next campaign. How's it going, Tedster? Analyzer Tama? Toki? How you guys doing? I hope you guys are enjoying the nice frozen loading screen that we've got going on here. Welcome back, Skull Monkeys. Okay, so for today's YouTube playable, I wanted to do more Minesweeper, but I feel like we've had Minesweeper for 2 days in a row, so we have to switch to something else. And so for the something else that we switch to, we can try... Let's try... Color match. This one seems mindless enough. You got the medals mod? I do have the medals mod. So I got out and got no time to watch VOD. How was the Avenger Defense 2? That one actually went surprisingly well. That one actually went perfectly well, in fact. Well, minus the fact that people got wounded and stuff, but... Okay, so how does this work? I have to paint this thing. Then I go for the yellow because it's an orange. Is that it? And then what do? I compare it? Only 88% accurate? What is this shit? No, we're gonna keep mixing. Okay, what if we added a bit more pink? I bet the pink is what makes it. Okay, how about now? 90%. We need a bit more yellow, maybe? Maybe a bit more yellow. Okay. How about now? No, it went down! What is this? I will get this to be 100%. Oh god, I think the red is a bit too strong. $95? Is it because I just need to paint this corner? I will have this succeed. No one will stop me. Okay, so that's 95. How do we get it to like 100? Do I need like more yellow? More yellow. Okay, how about now? Okay, it's getting no, I think that made it worse actually. More red. This will work eventually, guys. This will work. It has to work. The commander's art career depends on it. If my art career doesn't take off, oh, this world's gonna pay for this. This world will pay if my art career doesn't take off. No! Why is it only at 94%? We have to get this to 100. I think more red. You think more red? Alright, we'll try more red after this. Damn it. Okay, it's gotta be more red then. Where have I heard this before? Oh man. This game's bullshit. They're trying to just mess with me. They're trying to make me look bad. They're trying to make me fail out of art school. How dare they? I won't take this sitting down. Let's get a supply drop. The Chosen and the Advent Priest gain the ability to periodically deal small amounts of mental damage when targeted by psionic abilities for a month. Okay, we have another UFO targeting us. This is not what I like to see, that's for sure. If I want to be able to do any side missions, I think I'm gonna have to be able to gear up 2 squads, 2 big squads. So, in my next campaign, we definitely need to train up like 12 plus 8, like at least 20 really strong soldiers. That's gonna be a really hard ask.
Avenger plotting new course.
20 really strong soldiers is incredibly challenging to come up with, I think. Tech Sergeant, Stormtrooper. Ooh, another combat medic. We needed one of those. Let's get one of those going. Delirium crystals. And alien alloys. Excellent. Okay. We've replenished our supply of thingies. So that's good. $20 fusils easy. Did I get your DM? Oh yeah, I think I saw it as I started up the game, and I didn't want to close the game and reopen it again. But I'll probably I'm not sure if I'll use that for this campaign. Maybe I'll start that for next campaign when we actually will see a lot of the early game stuff all over again. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Might as well wait for the next one. Do you keep the corpses of the UFOs, or is it just congratulations for surviving? It's just congratulations for surviving. You get nothing for that. I know, it's a wonderful feeling, isn't it? Oh, we got one more. I think that is a maxed out region. Most likely one of them is faceless though, so it's quite unfortunate, but not much we could do about that. I'm gonna switch maybe around... Yeah, about this many people on Intel should be fine. Okay, oh boy. This project is closing in on us. 4 of those points are on this facility though, so that's actually not too bad. The main problem is like this actual avatar facility points. Those don't go down ever. Ambush enemy troops, under 27. Moderate heavy. Oh goodness. See if that goes down like just even a little bit more of a tick.
For Eastern Europe.
That would be nice if it did go down just a little bit. Oh, you know what else we need to do? We need to tear down this power relay, but we can't tear it down just yet, I believe. How do I, is there a tear down button? I think you have to go to engineering.
Commander?
Wait, how do I tear down a facility? I don't want to power it up, I want to tear it down. Where's the X button? Wait, how do I tear it down? If I can't tear it down, I can't build a shadow chamber. Wait, did I just lose the campaign because I can't tear it down? Where's the X button? Isn't there usually an X button over here that you can click to like tear something down? Go to engineering plus facilities, that's Tedster. Oh, there we go, there we go, there we go, okay. So I need to tear this down, but right now it's using up power. So what I need to do is get a little bit more Avenger power, which we can get if I go over to here, make contact with this, and build a radio relay in either of these 2 regions. That will get us the stuff that we need. So the next thing we're gonna do is actually come over here and make contact.
We utilized all of our available communications capacity. We can't establish any new contacts until we upgrade our systems.
And let's begin
Attempting
contact.
to establish local regional contact.
5 days, 7 hours. Nope, can't do that one yet. Oh, there's the faceless. Okay, so I knew there was faceless in there. But first, let's do this mission. Seems to be stuck at moderate heavy, so not much that's going to be done about that. I can't boost it anymore because I don't have intel. 22 to 24 enemies. I think this team should be able to handle it unless we get some super uber requiem, in which case we're just screwed either way. Let's begin. soft locked Keck. Could you imagine that was like a way to soft lock your game? You just forget that you had to build the shadow chamber and you can never tear anything down ever again. Hey everyone in chat, hope you guys are well. How's it going, Gulshot? Does it mean that avatar points at some point will always reach the maximum? Like, are you able to stall the game forever? No, you can't stall the game forever like in vanilla. That was actually a design choice for Long War 2. Just to make sure that the player actually had a lose condition. Because in Long War 1, the lose condition was basically, you kind of give up trying, right? Because you could always keep fighting and you could keep retaking alien bases as long as you keep going. But sometimes it's like a campaign is like almost dead, but you can keep playing it for a long time before it's actually dead. So it's one of those things where they wanted to just make sure that there was like a clearly defined lose condition that the player had to fight against. Are we getting perfect orange or what? You're right, we have to come back to this. Alright, we're gonna get that perfect orange. We're gonna just mix a bunch of reds like that other guy said. Oh my god, it's so close! It's so close! Maybe more red is the answer. Maybe we just have to give it more red. Oh my goodness, whoever said more red is an absolute genius. And then I spray it on? Oh, interesting. Is this supposed to be like a permison or something? Or a persimmon? However you pronounce it. Oh, look at that. Perfection. I am truly the master of everything involving... Oh, apparently you can accidentally paint the wood. Hold up, can I paint the wood by accident? How did you paint the wood? Dang. Well, let's get every corner here. Get it all nice and green. There we go. Then we're gonna go with the gory red. Oh, Gary red, I think. Not gory red. Or maybe it is Gary red. Gory red. Okay. Do a quick compare. 87, alright. Well, obviously we need a bit of orange. Okay, that pretty much looks nearly the same to me. I think it needs to be darker, right? Probably a bit darker. Get some more red in there. Although we have to be careful it doesn't turn like brown. Maybe some blue. Do you think the blue will ruin it? Maybe the blue ruins it. No, I don't think that's working. Let's add some more green. I think it needs like 2 coats of green or something. This nice perfect puke green color. 93. Okay, that's in the right direction. That probably means we need to add more green. Oh, no, more green. More green, more green. Just gotta add more and more green until it works, guys. Almost. I bet if I just add another coat of green, that'll actually work. Sorry I'm late. Are we gate crashing? Not yet, Blade Walker. This campaign still has life. Ronar passed art class. Yeah, if I didn't pass art class, if I didn't get into art college, oh, this world will suffer my wrath. Okay. Let's get ready for this mission. That's the corner. I like how big these maps are, even though the player will never see, like, 90% of these maps. Like, most fights will just take place in, like, mostly the center. I'll probably almost never enter, like, this back section over here. Like, look at that little back alleyway over here. But it exists, though. Like, if you ever need to, like, run and hide somewhere, that is an option. It's given to the player. You know, I wonder if there's, like, some way to do, like, some sort of secret stealth mission where if you're really desperate enough, you can blow up these ladders up. Because there's no, like, stairways inside of here. Stairways don't exist on these apartments for whatever reason. So if you destroy these fire escapes and then just, like, hang out on the top floor, technically Advent can never get you, actually.
Position confirmed.
Toy Toll will move first.
Hostile forces spotted.
First group. Okay. We got Sovereign over here. Sovereign's job is to flamethrower things, so I'm gonna have Sovereign move
Roger
up.
that.
I'd like to find the 8 trooper pod and just throw a napalm rocket on top of them. That would be the ideal case, I think.
Go, go, go.
Monique, you're going to hide right behind there. They'll never see you. They'll never be able to see you as long as you hide right up there.
Je confirme la position.
I didn't give Tahoma Raider his arms last stream when I was gearing this mission up, so unfortunately you guys are gonna have to deal with regular Tahoma Raider. I had a pod hiding in there once. Took me a while to find them. Really? Pod hiding in there. I can also just throw a fireball on top of these guys and that's pretty much a win. I could do this and just throw the fireball right now. I'm actually heavily considering it. That's actually quite tempting. Maybe I do that. Do I do that? No, we wait.
I'm on it. Overwatch.
Patience is key. We need to find the 8 trooper pod. Assuming there is one. There should be one. Unless they catch me. They might just catch me if I don't do this. Alright, I guess I just blow them up.
Your body grows weak. They're on to us.
Hi there. Donut, he says. I like how the sentry moves like right next to our team. Alright, let's get an evac zone about there. I'd say that's a really good spot.
This is Firebrand. Evac request confirmed.
Alright,
Hold tight.
this is the only guy that we're able to hit. That should be fine, honestly. I'm just going to come up here and zap him with Monique's lightning hands thing. Beautiful. Not too bad at all. And then afterwards, everyone else can just come up around the sides and get ready to roast these guys, I guess.
Here I come. Firing incendiary.
There we go. Oh goodness, this guy just got poisoned, disoriented, and he's burning. That looks brutal. Alright, but that is a win though. So, let us chill out around here.
Whatever you say.
And probably just Overwatch, I guess. I should have probably tried to set up at least one mark for you on one of these guys. I think they're all just gonna die though. We are supposed to be building up fusel charges for Tahoma.
Moving to Overwatch.
Hey, that guy lived. Okay. Oh, never mind. They're all dead.
I've got
Never
all in
mind.
active position.
Oh, now you guys finally show up. Nice 4% Overwatch. It was,
Enemy is still up.
oh yeah, it was so close. You almost got him. Oh, look, they're all nicely lined up against that car. Oh, look at them. All nicely lined up. How cute. Oh, don't shoot me. Oh my god, are you just gonna die from yellow alert? She actually almost nearly just died from that. That is a very scary thought. Oh my goodness, that was actually really scary. And there's another pod sitting right back there ready to activate. So we're gonna have to get ready for all of that. If I did have to pick which pod to throw this on, I'm thinking I'll throw it right here and it can veer either way against the priest or the lancer. That should be fine.
With pleasure.
Alright, which guys did we hit? We hit Officer, Gunner, Sentry. That guy doesn't care. Apparently we got the Engineer, and then we didn't get the Shield Bearer and the Priest. Shield Bearer will just make a shield so we don't have to worry about him, but everything else we will probably have to worry about. The other issue is that there's a pod back there that's also going to be threatening us. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do about that. I should have thrown the acid grenade first. Oh, that was my mistake. Acid grenade would have been a great play here. I want to see if I can kill that purifier off because he's quite a threat. This guy's also in a lot of danger. I think what we're going to do is we're going to have... I could have Monique stand in front of them. That's one way to handle it. The other way is to have Monique run up and stab someone, but we're kind of out of range. So I think we have Monique stand in front of him. Alright, keep Sovereign alive, Monique. And we will activate our war cry, I guess. Alright, there's our war cry. You do have a shot that you can take. I want to take the pistol shot to try and mark that guy with a little bit more damage using the laser lance spark. Fortunately, that does not connect on him. How can I kill the purifier? Is that a flank on purifier? Can't see. Yes, that is a flank on purifier. That may also reveal the other pod, but I kind of don't want to get lit on fire, so I'm going to do this. We're throwing the axe at Mr. Purifier down there, but first let us activate our fastball. Can't reach him. Maybe we just flashbang then? If we flashbang the Purifier, he shouldn't be a threat.
You watching?
Excellent. Nice flashbang on the Purifier, and now we can try and remove him from the game. One axe throw right there. Reasonable throw. I was hoping for a crit, but that's okay. And then we're going to go for the slug shot on the Purifier. Nice shot. Okay, the flashbang was completely unnecessary. Nice. Then after that, we are going to attempt to kill off, let's see. He's burning for 2, so we don't have to worry about him yet. Priest is probably the biggest threat because it can mind control. Shield Bearer is another target if we want to remove shielding. I think Priest is the highest priority target though. Then after that, Toito over here can go for Insanities. Kind of want a Toito to be able to soul fire someone down there. This car feels like it's about to explode, so I'm not going to do too much with
On my
that.
way.
Come on up, Toito. Let's attempt to cast maybe Insanity on the... not Priest, because the Priest is immune to that. Maybe Insanity on the Shield Bearer to prevent the shield from coming out.
Leading.
Ooh, he resisted everything? Didn't it say 100%? Oh, does Solace provide... I think he has Solace, so he's providing bonuses to his ally. That's probably what's going on. No loss gear? I don't believe this is a lost mission, no. Officer is a bit of a threat once he starts not burning, so we do have to get ready to take care of him. Same with that elite sentry. Anything that shoots is automatically a threat here. I wish I had some more med kits for the squad, but we don't have that. Alright, shield bearer sets up the shield. That guy over there, he's going for the stasis on our Muton. Interesting. Do we lose the cover that the Muton grants if he goes into stasis? That's a good question. Oh, here comes the mind control. I think Toito has a mind shield, so it should be fine. Nice. Alright, and here comes these guys. Inferno Viper and Triple Trooper. Oh my god, there is a Legate on this mission. Uh-oh, 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 that's not good, that's not good. That's not good.
Fire spreading.
We might need to run for our lives. This mission does not feel like it's gonna end up well for us with that. Okay, before I do anything else, I just want to take a look at who's still burning. So, Priest not burning, obviously. Officer burning for 2. Trooper not burning. Trooper not burning. Elite Trooper not burning. Shield Bearer not burning. Lancer burning for 2. Burning for 2. Burning for 2. Burning for 2. Okay, so it's specifically the Lancer that we have to worry about. Or not Lancer, the new troopers that came out that we have to worry about. Gonna blast him for a little bit of damage. Maybe a Soulfire is enough to finish him off. Maybe. Okay. Soulfire might be enough to finish him off. We're gonna start earth healing our friend here. And then we're gonna cast another Soulfire on that guy. Let's see if we can knock out the priest so we don't have to worry about stasis and other things coming our way towards the later half of the mission. Nope. Okay, that's fine. Now, we know there is something back there ready to murder us all. I really want to come up here and just flamethrower these guys again, but there's stuff up there. We have a Shredder Rocket. I think Shredder Rocket as well as Sabbath Rocket is going straight onto the boss. So we won't be able to use that for now. I think we'll just try to flamethrower this guy. It's unlikely that we hit, but we'll try our best.
This might burn a little.
Oh hey, we got him, nice. We also have an acid grenade for the boss too. Hopefully all of this works out. I can reload because we have the free reloads. Yeah, we have a free reloader. I can try to long-range shotgun something. Or I can just run next to this guy and blast him. Half these enemies can't shoot. Shield Bearer can shoot. Oh, the Inferno Viper. Forgot about that thing. Inferno Viper is a bit of an issue. I do not know what we're going to do about Inferno Viper. Ugh, Inferno Viper's kind of scary. Okay, we have a problem where there's an Inferno Viper that's ready to do a lot of damage to our team. I have no clue how we can handle that. I think we need to reposition. Is that car gonna explode? It feels like it will. Nonsense. Cars don't explode in this game. Stand next to it. Lancer. You got really nothing else better to do but to shoot. Yeah, just try to kill something that's right next to us, I guess. Try your best. Let's try.
Get it together.
Alright, we have a little bit more time left before everything comes back up. The problem is we never really finished off the elite trooper pod, and we know there's a legate somewhere far away from us. That's a bit of an issue there. Okay, it's nice that they're coming close though. Mostly worried about these other elite troopers. They're going to be doing a lot of damage to us if we're not careful. Worst case, we just evac this mission. We probably will have to evac it. And they're still going for this person. Man, leave him alone. Elite priest over there doing his holy warrior thing. He's probably taking another shot. Oh, they're really all going after Sovereign.
Taking heavy fire.
Oh, here it comes, here it comes. Oh god, oh god. What do we have to deal with? Muton Prowler, Legate right in our faces. Oh no. Oh no, he's right up in front of us. Inferno Viper coming in. There's 2 Inferno Vipers on this team now. Elite Spectre. Oh, that Spectre might kidnap someone. Not looking good for the squad, particularly with that Legate. Don't hit me. Miss. Oh no, he's gonna do the AoE. Oh god. They really don't like Sovereign. They really, really don't like Sovereign. Oh, Sovereign's going down from that. Okay, that's not too bad.
On vient de perdre quelqu'un. Too close to the heat.
Oh, that did explode. God damn it.
Okay.
Okay. We're fine, we're fine, we're fine. Minus the fact that half our team is on fire. Everything else is fine. Okay, the way to survive this... you have a... Oh, goodness. This mission took a huge turn for the worse, didn't it? Alright, take a free reload. You're no longer on fire next round, and you're no longer poisoned next round. Legate is going to start doing kill them all protocol. Officer, that's the officer. Elite Trooper is still active. Elite Trooper is still active. I really needed that flamethrower guy up this round. Really bad that we don't have him right now. I'm terrified of what that Viper can do to us. He's only burning for 1. Oh goodness, we failed to kill everything. Okay, so we've managed to fail to kill everything on the map. There's a Muton Prowler sitting down there. Monique has some armor at least. Monique can burn this guy at... Oh no, am I just gonna have Monique repeatedly burn this guy while standing out in the open against all the enemies? Monique can melee attack while she's on fire. That's like the one good thing we've got going on right now for us. We got a sniper over here that can try to do some damage. Keyword try. Sentry up there. Priest up there. An acid bomb will possibly kill off the Lancer and the Sentry. Possibly, not even guaranteed. Okay, so you would probably... And then there's the Viper. The Vipers are the big issue right now. They're like the one thing I can't control. You need to get back to a safe spot and hunker down for one more round to survive. Maybe even just like come upstairs. Maybe like upstairs hunker. Sniper over here needs to attempt to kill one of the lethal enemies on the enemy team. Probably that gunner. If we hit him and he takes a burn tick, he'll probably die. Attempt some damage on that gunner, please. Thank you so much for that.
Je vous impressionne, hein?
You just need to no longer be on fire, and next round you can be relevant again with Frostbite against the boss. Then we just need to deal with the Legate, the Flame Vipers, and everything else that's threatening our team. So I guess the burn against the Legate works, right? Or does that not work? I don't remember actually. Did it get to take an action against us last time we fought it and we burned it? I think it got to like do some sort of like super death cannon. It's fine, you didn't want those 5 troops anyways. I think acid grenade on these guys definitely is the best choice. How lethal is this Legate if I ignore it? Reacts upon taking damage. Does a lot of damage. 5 to 10 damage. He gets 3 actions on his turn, I think. Can take 3 actions. They gain 20% crit chance on flanks. Can also deal with this Grenadier. No, I can't. I'm out of range. On one hand, I need to burn the Legate. On the other hand, we're going to get atomic bombed by this thing. Why don't we like do it from this angle? Maybe he'll shoot it backwards into the Vipers or something. But I think we can burn him with this. So that he can only do that, whatever move that is. No, he just shoots. Okay, Monique might just be dead from that. So he can just shoot? He can take whatever actions he wants while burned? Is that like just his unique thing? I guess that's just his unique thing. Alright, try to get as much other stuff as we can. So let's start by finishing off this Lancer and Sentry. Is that enough for a kill? I hope that's enough for a kill. You also have a shot against this officer, so that's one less officer to deal with. Yeah, kill the officer. I can also acid bomb the priest. Officer or priest. Priest stuff is still on cooldown, I think, so I'm pretty sure the right answer is officer. He might also just die from the burn and poison. I can pray that he dies from the burn and poison, although I don't know how likely that is. Does this person have that perk that... I can't figure out whether or not this person has that perk or not. I don't know if that person had salt in the wound. That would increase their damage ticks by a little bit. I don't remember if that's the case or not. Regardless, I think the best answer then would be to go after these guys. And just remove that priest. Oh, right, and then there's that grenadier. That grenadier is a huge threat to us. Actually, go for the grenadier. If we get firebombed again, it's just game over. Please hit this. Thank you.
Only the best.
Okay, Toito, you need to survive. Whatever it takes to survive, you gotta do it, okay? So just stand up here, hunker down. Next round you can jump back down and hopefully do something relevant.
You say. Roger, holding.
Oh no. I'm sorry, Monique. I thought you'd have a chance. Excellent. Good. Die harder. Die from the poison. Die from the burn also. Yes, good. Excellent. Keep dying. Don't stop dying. Die forever. Hang in there, Monique. Oh, Monique. There's no way you can get lucky more than once, right? Oh, Monique, hang in there. You're so tanky, but I don't know if that's enough. Hey, Lamau, bitch! Oh god, it's the Muton Prowler. Monique, no! I mean, at this point, are we surprised that Monique died again? Oh no. Ow! Oh god, he gets to keep attacking. Yeah, it seems like he's just immune to the fire. Well, 2 bleeding outs. Okay, survive 1 round, and hopefully we can come out of this alive. Oh god, nobody's coming out of this alive. Oh god, nobody's coming out of this alive. Jesus, the entire squad is dead. Who would we have to rescue from this? I think the Shredder guy is the rescuee.
Who's got a med kit?
Hey, you're good now, Toito. Don't worry, Toito. You good now. You good now. All good now. You're all good now, Toito. Everything's okay. Yes. Everything will be just okay. A-okay, guys. Don't worry. Everything will be just fine. Nobody is gonna die from this.
Tu vas t'en sortir.
Good thing you got a medkit for yourself, Tahoma. That medkit sure is relevant right now. We're going to attempt a mind control on this guy. And we're going to get it and not fail it.
Feeling all right.
We're gonna get a mind control so that everyone can survive and carry out the remaining allies. Shit, we didn't get the mind control. Okay, well, we didn't get the mind control. You need to stay close enough that you can actually come over here and pick that guy up. I don't know about that one. I didn't know about that one. We have a grapple. We just need one more turn. Buy one more turn for us somehow, guys. How do we get one more turn out of this? How do we get one more turn? Is there any way? How do we squeeze one more turn into this? Grapple. Teleport here next to an ally maybe and pick up their body. And what we're gonna do is... Oh fuck, there was more! Oh fuck, there was more! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, and they got stealth, excellent. Wait, where's your actions? I thought you had more. Okay, everyone here is actually dead. I'm pretty sure this would be the literal end of the campaign if we let this go through. Since this campaign is no longer Iron Man since yesterday, we'll restart this level. We'll try this one again. See if there's a way for us to do this one, and if not, then we'll just accept defeat here. I have a D&D session to attend to. Look forward to coming back to a fresh new campaign. You might be seeing one. I don't think our team's capable of doing missions at this point. Missions are a little bit beyond us now. I suppose the squad was doomed when they got sent out with Monique. Hey, you don't talk about Monique like that. Monique was a valued soldier, even if she does curse every squad that she goes on, along with our shinobis. Well, I died how I lived, says Monique. It's okay, it's okay. Well, we're gonna get a second chance at this, and most likely this campaign is gonna be over soon anyways. Let's try again. Maybe this time we'll do a bit more of a better job of scouting rather than just engaging on the first pod. I feel like if we do a good job of killing either the 8-trooper pod or we set up really well against the Legate, we might actually have a chance of doing something relevant. So let's try this again, see if there's any way to play this better. And so when we play the next campaign, we can hopefully get a much better outcome.
Enemy patrol on the move.
Okay, so that was the first pod we saw last time, and we were about to get found out by them, which is why we engaged at them. But maybe if we were a little bit more patient with our moves and didn't just go all in, we might be able to hold on to our concealment for a little bit longer.
Double time.
Let's see if we could set something up. We might also just want high ground for Tahoma Raider to get more vision on everything. Another option too. We gotta see the Avatar project. Oh, that's true. The Avatar project does need to go off and stuff. Maybe we play this campaign until we see the Avatar project? Although at this point, since we can't even do missions anymore, it might just end up being us scanning until the Avatar project comes. Okay, so we know that the Legate is back there. What I'll do is maybe just scan everything.
On Overwatch, eyes on the prize.
Don't. Oh, she has a mind shield, thank God. Okay. I was afraid that person was gonna do something to ruin everything. if the UFO don't attack as well. Okay, to be fair, we're able to handle missions when we have 12 people on them, but any less than 12 and we can just no longer handle it. I think ideally we wait until the Legate actually arrives.
Bien sûr. Overwatch.
J'ouvre grand les yeux.
Overwatch.
Can you F1 the Legate, please? Yeah, sure, I could do that. Next time we get the chance. I think we'll get spotted if I move from here, although this guy in the back should be safe.
Understood. Moving out. Got a group of hostiles over here.
Alright, I think I see him. There we go. F1 on the Legate. Reaction attacks and area of effects can critically hit. We know that stuff. Okay, you might be behind then? What do you mean by I might be behind then? I thought that was a given at this point. The big problem right now we're having is we can't deal with the Flame Vipers. The Flame Vipers are actually a really unique enemy, and I actually like their design quite a bit. They're really simple at first. They breathe fire pools and they shoot fire bullets. But another thing about their innate property is that they're snakes that are also immune to fire. And most of the time, anything that's organic, our solution to it is fire. We have like this person over here with like a napalm bomb and everything else. But the snakes are actually uniquely immune to that, similar to the purifiers. So they're actually really difficult for our team to take care of besides just raw damage. Okay, but aside from that, how do we deal with this nonsense? I think at this point there's no chance of winning this mission unless we somehow get like the Legate spawned all the way in the back or patrolled all the way to the back, this big pod patrolled all the way up to us, and we kill these guys at our leisure, kill these guys at our leisure, and then fight the Legate separately. That's really the only way I can see us winning this mission.
I'm on the move.
Maybe if that pod walks into us and we get to flamethrower them all. I'm gonna put you right up to here and hope that the trooper pod walks into us. And then we can just flamethrower them all or something. And then meanwhile, I'm just gonna continue marking whatever else I can mark. Probably the priest first. No, purifier actually. Yeah, let's mark that purifier. We want to mark the purifier and the flame vipers if possible. I think that's how we want to do it.
Scanning.
Once you get fire immunity gear, Flame Viper becomes less of a worry in a pod. That's true. I always use the tactical vest though, because so much more stuff shoots at us than tries to burn us. Maybe I'll give that other gear a go. It would be nice if there was like a version of that gear that also gave like a bit of armor alongside it. Are we gonna get revealed? I feel like we're gonna get revealed. Shit. I think we're gonna get revealed. I have to do this. This would be such a nice flamethrower turn if these freaking guys just weren't there. I think they're gonna walk around and reveal me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. High probability that they do reveal us. We have a fireball that we can use on the Legate, I guess. Do I get revealed if I use this? Am I allowed to like teleport up to a red spot. It's not saying that I'll get revealed. Then this guy over here has the shot available on the purifier. You can throw your axe and do something. More importantly though, I need this person to be able to use their ice grappling hook on the Legate, I think. That's the way that we survive around with that thing. The other option is napalm rocket, which is actually quite solid here. Just that it doesn't get everything unless I pinpoint accuracy it. Do I use fire rocket? Fire rocket also disables the muton prowler, which would be incredibly nice. I would love to be able to shredder rocket this entire group, but it's not exactly the most effective thing here. I don't think the guy can be disoriented. Or no, this applies poison and bleeding. Okay, never mind, that's different. We also have the fireball from you, which would be nice, but I have to get ready to use the ice thing against them. I think the napalm rocket or the flamethrower are the two best ways to begin. Just gotta think about which one's the better one to begin with. I really wish I had a chance to use Shredder Rocket against them. But we kind of just have to survive around. Napalm Rocket is probably slightly better because it affects the guy in the back. So let's start with that. Try your best.
Rockets away!
Didn't get the officer, unfortunately, but we did get the prowler, which is technically more dangerous.
We're visible here!
And they are going to scatter in every random direction possible. Oh, apparently that can burn the purifier? Damn! Really? That can burn purifiers and specters? Wait, napalm rocket is pretty wild. Napalm rocket is pretty wild if it can burn just about anything like that. Damn. That is actually really cool if it does work like that. Ooh. Apparently this pod down here didn't activate. That is quite curious. I'm going to start with the tracking shot with you just because I have it. Just hit that guy so we can get ready to kill him off. Then after that, I need to phase walk you over to here so you can get ready to chill that guy next round. You won't be able to get him this round, I think. Where's a good spot for you to hide? Can't teleport that far, unfortunately. If I go here, he can easily walk around us and just kill us. So I guess over to here is the right place to go. Then after that, we can... I need to disable that guy. Technically, Insanity would be a fine option. That Viper, I think we can kill with you. Not quite. I do want to kill it, though. I really do need to kill it. We also have just the straight-up Acid Slash. That's fairly solid. Maybe I'll activate Double Time with you. That way we can get to the team a little bit better. And probably just stab that Viper in the back or something. Most stuff here is disabled besides that guy up there. Let's just try to get some damage off against this guy. Beautiful. Damage against that guy. Oh, nice. You guys activated. I sure didn't need that. These guys from behind, followed by these guys from the front. Then after that, I'd like to try and remove this elite grenadier, or at least flashbang him. I think flashbanging him is a perfectly valid option. So maybe we'll try flashbanging that guy. And I want to be able to do more damage to the... Yeah, let's start with the flashbang. I really don't want that grenadier doing things to our team. Fastball flashbang.
Flashbang!
Good. There's a guy standing there. There's a guy standing there. All of these guys should be burning for 2 rounds. This unit is spreading fire as it moves around, and it's easier to hit with reaction fire. That's kind of interesting. I'm just going to have you group up with the team, I think, and just come up here and chop. Next round, I need you to throw a slug shot against him so we can inflict acid on top of him. We'll try to kill off the officer, probably. Come up to here to see if there's anything you can throw your axe at. He'll react if I take an attack against him, so we won't be able to act until next round. Gunner, this guy, that guy. Oh, we do not have a lot of good options for who to kill here. I want our team deeper into the map though, together, and we'll try to like focus down the legate if possible. We'll throw an axe and see if we can burn him. Oh nice, we got the burn. Okay, and if we can get that, then we can just do something else here. Maybe we'll go for the chop against... I really want to deal with that Inferno Viper, but I can't. Maybe I'll just separate us so that it doesn't throw fireballs on top of everyone. And we're going to need to... I need to save this chill for next round when I actually start targeting him. So maybe what I'll do this round is try to disable the Inferno Viper.
Disorienting.
Okay, that worked. Okay, so we disabled the Inferno Viper. Then we just need to get into a position where we can just do some damage to some of these guys without grouping up together so that guy won't do his mega death cannon move. Is here too close to Monique? I feel like that's too close to Monique. There's no other place for me to get damage from, though. That's too close to that guy. That's too close to all 3 of these guys. Well, we already have you guys like about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles apart. 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles apart. So me being another 4 tiles apart from this guy isn't exactly too special. So I can be like, oh, I could be like here. I also need you to not get shot to death by these guys. They're disoriented, but there's like 2 more guys down here, and there's like 2 guys up there. I think we just have to reposition here.
I'm going.
Okay, let's see how this goes. This is not a very healthy turn for our squad, that's for sure. Ronar is burning the enemies, but doesn't have enough damage to clean up said burnt enemies. That is kind of a problem. You are correct about that. Well, we don't have enough damage this round because everyone was so far away, but we were about to get caught anyway, so better to burn them all rather than get caught, have them scatter, and not be able to burn anything. I hope he got burned again from running up that fire ladder. Okay, everything's okay so far. Kind of, but not really. Oh, interesting. It says that guy was immune, but he was burning last round for whatever reason. At least I saw the icon on him, I think. I don't know why he didn't do anything if he was able to, though. Priest. Prowler's on fire, good. I'm mostly scared about what the Legate can do, as well as everything on the right side. Oh, he isn't on fire. How come it said that he was on fire for some reason? Oh, that's not good.
Damn you!
Okay, we do not like that the enemy has a copy of Sovereign. That is a lot of danger happening on us. Oh my god. Did we just instantly lose a soldier because I left him alive? Maybe I can't even like leave one round. We can't even leave one round with the ice thing. I needed one round to freeze him so he wouldn't take the reaction next round though. Maybe I should have just used the freeze thing immediately. Oh boy. Lots of shots coming in. You know, Monique is surprisingly dodgy because she has half cover built into her along with tac senses. A lot of enemies can't actually hit Monique easily unless they really all focus fire her down.
About to get burnt to a crisp!
I think this is probably game over here. Hey, LaBelle, he took fall damage! Look guys, there is some bright side to all of this. He took fall damage. The embarrassment is going to kill him. Man, I wonder if in a situation like this, whether or not the best choice is to kill everything else and hope for the best, or really focus fire everything on killing him. No, you can't even focus fire him because he has that ability. What's that ability called? He has that ability that makes it so that he doesn't take what's it called? He doesn't take more than 40% of his life without a bunch of damage resistance coming in. Did Monique have a mind shield, or does it just not work against the Spectre? Here, let's finish off the Spectre so we can at least, or not Monique, Sovereign. Let's finish off the Spectre and see if we can figure out what we're doing here. Get some damage off against this guy. Alright, so at the very least we should be able to kill this guy off. We're gonna get Overwatch and stuff, that's okay. Damn, Monique is really dodgy. It's very hard to actually hit that soldier. Okay, so let's finish this guy off. Sovereign. What do we do about that guy up there? I guess we start off with a Shredder Rocket.
Going hot!
And just try to unload as much damage off against it as we can. Oh shit! That thing does not give a fuck. It doesn't give a fuck.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. This thing gives no fucks at all. Look, guys, we almost got all of his armor before he finished off our entire squad. Oh my god. Oh man. 5 versus 17 and a Legate. You know, normally in most XCOM type games or mods that I play, it's usually like XCOM fighting outnumbered against a bunch of enemies, but at the very least each XCOM soldier is higher quality than every enemy. Beyond Impossible kind of twisted that a bit by making it so that XCOM didn't have higher quality in terms of stats, and the bosses were just overall higher quality than XCOM soldiers. In this game, XCOM soldiers are higher quality than enemies, but the enemy stats do still matter to XCOM. But the Rishi enemies, though, these things are like very high quality over XCOM, to a point that I think they're worth like at least 3 or 4 XCOM soldiers. Like, that thing's capable of taking a reaction shot, as well as taking 3 actions on its turn. Assuming it's only smart enough to use 2 of its actions, that's like about 3 actions per round. And each of those actions are actually like dangerous actions. They're not like do nothing actions like some of the enemies do. Alright, we'll probably start a new campaign and really try to strategize around dealing with this stuff. Particularly, I want to really think about how we're going to take care of the higher leveled enemies that we see often in the late game. Legate is the biggest offender here. We need to really think about how we're going to handle the Legate. Legate, I think it's pronounced Legate. I think we looked that up last time. Oh, interesting, the mutants can bleed out. I thought they couldn't bleed out because they wouldn't have like a ragdoll animation. I was wondering whether or not this thing could do its bind move, but it seems like that thing can't do binds. It can only know how to spitfire. Spitfire and shoot, it seems.
Watch the flanks, they're moving.
Nope. Nope.
Getting a little toasty here.
Oh look, we still have 1 guy left. Yeah, it's pretty much over. Okay, let's head back to base. Oh, there's no, end mission button. Okay, well, you're gonna go out with a bang to home a raider by, killing 1 guy. Not even. Alright, well, to home a raider, you tried your best. Here, let's save time. End mission. Is there an end mission? End mission? Force. End. I have no clue. End battle. End battle. There we go. Well, I think the enemy turn is playing out, so. Oh no, there we go. Close one. Oh yeah, sure was close. Closest battle. Okay. So for the rest of today's stream, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do some planning and strategizing. We're going to think about what we're going to do with the remainder of our squads, and how we're going to take care of the Chosen, as well as how we're going to take care of some of the Requiem enemies. This is what we did when we finished a couple of our Beyond Impossible runs, and we had like 1 good final run that really put it all. You had him on the ropes. Thanks. It was so close. We almost killed maybe 3 of them.
XCOM dissidents
Advent peacekeepers expressed confidence that the so-called resistance organization is on its last legs. Why not celebrate by visiting your local Advent burger?
Well, legates are not stun / freeze immune. Yeah, freeze was one of the things we came across. I'm surprised to hear that they're not stun immune. I thought they would be stun immune. Yeah, they go through them pretty quickly because most of the stuff, because it triggers their thingy, right? And even though a stun and a freeze doesn't count as a dot, it technically burns through a turn of that. But you can use that to stop their reactions, though. Alright, so we would need a lot of things like arc throwers. We need to probably build XCOM assaults, probably. Alright, let's look through all the classes available. Think about all the enemies that we have to deal with. Rupture does affect dots. Oh, Rupture affects dots. I'll keep that in mind too. Okay, I think we have approximately one of every class. Well, a couple of people died, so I no longer have one of every class, but let's see. I'm training up a ranger, hijacker. I just want to like have every single class perk tree open. Mech heavy. Let's see if we can get like a mech assault somewhere. Mech assault, mech assault, mech assault. Do we have a repeat unit that we can turn into a mech assault? Yes, we'll turn you into a mech assault. So I want to see what a mech assault is capable of, and I want to see what a couple of the other classes are capable of. Is there a way to speed up time? I guess the slow-mo option would be the best way to do it. Slow-mo 3. And we'll just quickly train up those guys.
The outcome of this research can only further our advances, Commander.
Here, we'll also do the researches so we have an idea of what tools are available to us. Okay, plasma shotgun will be next.
I see a number of valuable applications stemming from this technology.
Tygan do be on the perk with slow-mo 3.
Research is complete.
Tygan, he's got the twitch. Oh yeah, we're gonna get shot down by a UFO. I'll just auto-win that mission or something. Stormtrooper class, that's something we haven't seen yet. At least not in this campaign. Okay, Stormtrooper has been taken. We'll let these guys finish. Is there a way to like auto-train them all? Or like auto-promote soldiers? Because that would be kind of nice. Let's go to recruit. Let's just recruit a bunch of rookies. At what point does the Legate damage reduction perk trigger? It should be 40% HP, if I remember correctly. There are level up commands. I do not know what they are. Let's find out what the level up commands are. Level up barracks. I guess that's the best way to do it. / level up barracks. I think that works, right? Yes, okay. So, oh, it random promotes them though. Well, we haven't seen what a Overlord does, so let's take a look at what this thing does. A Lord of War reigning over the battlefield, be a master of logistics and drone-based heavy weapons. Support or simply turn the AO into a killing field with your cannon. Okay. Perfect handling. Negates the aim penalty for long-range cannon shots. Interesting. How big is the penalty for that? I didn't think that was a penalty that was so bad that you needed to actually have perk for it. Covering fire, repair, aid protocol. A weird set of starting perks, and they also have no hack stat, it seems. Shield protocol. Increases sight radius. Squad sight. This thing gets squad sight, interesting. Does it get pistol perks? It does. Jingoistic. Alright, so it gets Jingoistic, ready for anything. Grants the aim and trench warfare perks. Aim increases your aim and crit by 20 after hunkering down. Trench warfare will hunker you down at the end of the turn if you killed an enemy. Oh, okay, so that's kind of interesting. This is a squad sight sniper build. I kind of get it now. This is a squad sight sniper build. And I guess this also negates the squad sight penalties from long range shooting. So this can act as a death from above sniper, except with a cannon. That is actually quite interesting. I wonder how, that's a weird concept. I guess kind of like an LMG. Can you suppress from long range? Oh, if this guy got suppression, you could have rebuilt the LMG class from XCOM 1 or Long War 1. Imagine being able to suppress things from squad sight so you don't trigger covering fire. That would actually be really neat. No, the creator of the class hates suppression. Oh, is this a Zenthalus class? That might be a Zenthalus class then. I always bring at least one electrician, infantry, mech mercenary with cannon plus arc thrower for every mission to deal with Requiem. Is this optional? Optimal? Probably not. Honestly, it's not a bad idea. Having arc throwers to deal with Requiem is not a bad idea at all, I would say. Jingoistic, ready for anything, duck and cover. So basically how this would work is he'll act as a sniper with squad sight, and he'll shoot with his cannon to kill things with pinpoint precision somehow. And each time he kills something, he'll activate duck and cover and get his free hunker down. And after he hunkers down, he'll immediately get 20 aim and 20 crit on the next turn. So as long as he keeps chain killing things, he gets 20 aim and 20 crit. Kind of like steadied weapon with death from above. Except, no, it's actually exactly the same. Except it doesn't take up a weapon slot. That's actually kind of neat. It is a Zenthalus class? That makes sense. Can they at least get suppression in the XCOM row? Because that would be really cool to get something like that on the soldier. Jingoistic, ready for anything. I'm surprised that Zenthalus hates anything not happening on his turn, but he gave this thing an Overwatch build. Does get cool under pressure and Sentinel. If this class got Long Watch, that would make Squad Sight Long Watching with cool under pressure and Sentinel a valuable thing. It also gets Kill Zone, which is quite interesting. You can do Kill Zone, Squad Sight, cool under pressure, Kill Zone. Oh, and it still gets death from above. Interesting. Oh, you get to shoot twice with this. Okay, because it's not like a sniper rifle, which requires 2 actions. This requires only 1 action to shoot. So theoretically, you can get a double shot with death from above, as well as your steadied weapon ability. Although you don't get steadied weapon on the second shot is the issue. But if you're shooting at a boss unit, you do get 2 really Oh, that's interesting. This is actually quite valuable against, if you're just trying to deal a lot of damage. The one issue is that this class doesn't get shred, which is kind of what the cannon is known for. Okay. Kind of see it. Enter shred rounds. Yeah, we'd have to build shred rounds of our own. I think there's a proving ground project for that. How much is shredder rounds? Is that based on the gun that you're using, or is it just a flat amount of shred for the gun itself? Cool under pressure, predator, sentinel, lock and load, kill zone, heavy hitter, napalm protocol, caustic protocol. Oh, okay, this is kind of like a support build. I see it now. And heavy hitter boosts the damage of the napalm damage as well as the acid damage. Flat 2 shred, it uses turret Rex. 2 shred only. Okay. That's not bad. 2 shred is still really quite strong, honestly. Hostage protocol, I love this thing. Send the gremlin to an enemy to take them hostage, stunning them. The hostage can be used as full cover. They should make it so that if the enemies miss shots against you, the hostage takes the damage. That'd be really funny, actually. Or roll a chance that the hostage also takes damage while you're taking cover against it. That would really, really give this perk a lot of identity. Although, to be fair, just stunning an enemy is already quite strong. Okay, this is actually an interesting class. First time I've actually seen squad sight on a cannon so far in this mod. So that's kind of its unique identity. It's a squad sight unit that has a gun that can do as much damage as a sniper rifle, unlike the vector rifle and the other battle rifle or something, and it's capable of shooting twice at squad sight. This is actually quite strong. If I were to do a build with this soldier, I think I would do something along the lines of squad sight, duck and cover, locked on, death from above, heavy hitter probably. So if I wanted to go damage, I'd probably go heavy hitter, death from above, maybe nimble hands and shooting sharp. And if I wanted to do something Overwatch related, I could also switch this up to be something like this. That's another option. I don't really think they need lock and load. Oh, I guess lock and load is for the Overwatch build. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess if you want to do an Overwatch build, you could do something like this, and he'd be able to just keep reloading and killing things through the kill zone. That's assuming he has enough damage output, though. The thing that separates this gun from the sniper tree from Long War 2 is that the Long War 2 sniper gets things like center mass, hunter's instinct, as well as alpha Mike Foxtrot, which this guy doesn't get. So the sniper technically does a little bit more damage overall, but this thing gets to shoot multiple times, so that's a boon that it has. I assume heat and other anti-robots do not count to mechtoids. I feel like mechtoids would count, right? Wouldn't they? The real busted interaction is the heavy LMG plus trigger heavy PCS. So it can take 1 action point NTE shots with the big cannon damage and no accuracy penalties. Let's take a look at all of our armaments and familiarize ourselves, because I didn't use a lot of the armaments in this campaign. So for example, I never really used a light machine gun because we didn't really have a lot of gunners. It does about the same damage as the regular cannon, or no, I think I'm looking at the wrong one. Yeah, it has a little bit more minimum damage than the regular cannon. Bonus 2 crit, bonus 2 crit, clip size 9. Okay, so the big thing is that this thing gets a massive clip size. And it comes with built-in shred. Ooh, built-in shred. Spray, fire a shot at -20 aim, doesn't end turn, does not count as a headshot on the loss, and does not count as a standard shot for abilities such as hit and run. Reload your weapon, takes 2 actions. Okay, so it's like the hunting rifle. It does more damage, but it requires 2 actions to reload, so it's kind of like XCOM 1 all over again. It also has a multi-shot ability, but you have to shoot at -20 aim. So if you can give yourself a lot of accuracy, then you have an ability to shoot multiple times with this thing. Okay, that's interesting. And this is a class that could try to make use of it. I don't know how good this class's aim growth is. It seems like it's kind of poor, but... very few classes have good builds for the 2 AP LMG. I agree. One concept for the 2 AP LMG is that it's better for suppression because of the higher ammo size, but the issue with it is that you can't reload and suppress again, and that kind of hurts it a lot for a suppression build, because suppression is meant for like long-term engagements, and if you can't reload and suppress repeatedly, that means the enemy has downtime where they're allowed to shoot back at you. So that's a bit of a problem with it. It does mean, though, that if you're doing an area suppression build, it does get to shoot multiple times more often than the heavy cannon. But honestly, with the heavy cannon and a superior expanded magazine, that's not even an issue, so I don't know. Like, with the heavy cannon, you have 5 ammo plus 3 from the superior expanded magazine. That's 8 shots on a area suppression. Most of the time, you're not really going to be shooting more than 8 times, because max pod size is 8. Yeah, resupply, den mother, refill, lock and load. Yeah, that's the thing. You would need to have those bonuses on this gun. I guess the question would be how much more damage does the higher tier variants do? If I were to do some sort of build like that. Also, I'm assuming suppressing the Requiem enemies does not prevent them from taking an action still. And I think the game's broken. Didn't break completely. Tech level, plasma. Let's take a look at what some of these things can do. Dead Mother can reload people. Kappa. What's that supposed to mean? They also count as muton for soldier phobias. Yes, I think we noticed that a bit. Plus 30% on crits. Wait, it gives plus 30% on crits? Where? Plasma cannon, plasma cannon, plasma cannon. Rocket Illyrium. What's this? Deals massive environmental damage, 30. As we have discovered mostly by accident, subjecting an Illyrium crystal to a modulated plasma beam generates a previously unobserved amount of raw explosive power. Unfortunately, the technology is too unstable to be used in anything other than heavy ordnance. Requires tier 3 Illyrium rocket launcher, so that's like 8 to 11 damage. Shred Storm. Oh wow, that's a nice amount of shred, damn. That's an excellent amount of shred. Plasma Ejector, what the? 36 damage? This portable Illyrium energy cell allows projecting a highly destructive beam of superheated plasma from one of our shoulder-mounted rocket launchers. Plasma Ejector deals a monstrous amount of damage and melts armor like it's nothing, but the plasma is highly unstable and gets progressively weaker with distance and additional targets. Plasma Ejector is most effective against priority targets at close range or several weaker targets in a line. Superheated plasma can destroy cover, but at the cost of dealing less damage to the target behind it. I'm assuming this is something like you lose 1 or 2 damage per tile distance away from the enemies. So assuming we shoot most of our enemies from maybe like 12 tiles away maybe. I'm guessing this thing would be like a 24 damage or 12 damage shot, depending. Shred rockets also apply a damage vulnerability in addition to normal shred. Oh, that's good to know. Shred. Oh yeah, that's good. That's great. That's excellent. Shred targets take 50% more. This is the better version of just the actual shredder rocket, right? Well, we had like a shredder rocket. Is this just the upgraded version of that? Because this is excellent for us. We would need something like this. 50% might be outdated. Less? Okay. That's tier 3. Is there a tier 2 version of the shredder rocket? Because that would have been really nice to be able to build one without the plasma tech. There should be a tier 2 one as well. Maybe I didn't research it. Maybe it's like locked under Andromedon or something. Falcon rocket. What's this? Fire the lock. Oh, it's a lock-on rocket upgrade. I never got to use the lock-on rocket too much. I wish I did get to use more of it though. An improved version of the lock-on rocket. Falcon carries a more powerful shape-charged warhead. The rocket deals most of its damage to the primary target, piercing its armor. The rocket is fired against a single target. Here, let's organize our thoughts real quick. Am I allowed to have like a Google Sheets? Let me get a Google Sheets open. I just want to start typing down some ideas. Google Sheets, blank spreadsheet. There we go. Okay, so some ideas, some things to remember. We want at least one shredder rocket type unit. One shredder rocket type unit, that's going to be important. Superior Cryolator. Bitterfrost was nice. I do still want to try out a Bitterfrost team. I think they will be quite helpful against certain types of enemies. Superior Immolator, Illyrium rocket, Ejector rocket. More Rocketeer units in general, I think. I want to build a Geneva class for the next run. I definitely want one of those. And I probably want a couple more rocket type units. I have to figure out which units can hold rocket launchers. I think the Grenadier can hold rocket launchers, right? Yeah, but good luck getting a trigger-happy PCS. I feel like I'm not going to rely too hard on getting specific types of PCSs, depending on how rare they are. If we get them, it would be nice, but I'm pretty much going to be relying on the original type stuff. Mostly like advanced PCSs and advanced weapon mods, and if I get the superior variants, then that's just a nice little bonus. Improved version of the Fletchet rocket. Metal Storm rocket carries a 50% larger yield of alloy spikes. This comes at no cost to other characteristics thanks to Illyrium launchers. Unlike grenades, most rockets can veer off and miss target. This seems to just be high damage. Rocket Sabot high impact, is that? Class rocket, 15 to 17 damage plus 8 crit. 50% critical chance with biggest booms, that's 100%. So this is a 23 to 25 damage rocket with 15 armor pierce. This isn't enough to kill bosses, but it's great for killing off priority single targets. I think if I were to build a rocket here, what are the 3 rockets that we would have them carry? Or 4 if they have an extra slot. Definitely Shredder rocket is top priority. Napalm is another. I kind of want to do the lock-on rocket just because I want to see more of it. And the final one would probably have to be Heat Flash. For a brief moment, it makes a targeted area behave as if it is underwater, allowing Wait, what is this? It has a place. Act like it's underwater. Is this Heat Flash is a weird one? Yeah, it sounds really weird. 20 range. Are they all 20 range? No, not all of them are 20 range. It does more damage the more the cover is in the The more cover is in the AoE, the more damage it deals. Huh. Probably gonna pass on this one. There's gonna be a lot of moments where we need to shoot things that aren't in cover, so I think we're definitely gonna run this one. A few more highly flammable components. Fleeing enemies are much easier to hit with reaction fire. I should have a soldier on Overwatch while using this. Robotic and mechanical enemies are immune to this rocket's effects. Unlike grenades what? Unlike grenades, most rockets can veer off course. Okay, we know that. Is that it? Okay. You'll want to test it because it gets to 30 damage something potentially. Really? Okay. The issue is that we have a limited amount of resources, so it's not like I can actually build as many of those as I want. Plasma Viper Rifle. Okay, so I think that's mostly all the cannons. I said I was going to look at the upgraded variants of some of the weapons here. So the Plasma Sniper Rifle. Plasma Beam, Muton Cannon. Plasma Sniper Rifle, where's that? Alright, well, let's look at the Beam Cannon first. 11 to 15 damage with 6 crit. Is that the same as the Sniper? No, it does a little bit more than the Sniper, so this is where it starts differing from the ballistic weapon variants. This does 1 more base damage than the Sniper Rifle. 10 to 14, 11 to 15. Crit damage is the same. Clip size is different, obviously. Aim is only +5 on this thing. Plasma Beam Sniper gets +20 crit chance. So the differences are this does 1 less point of damage, but it gives you the crit chance, which is kind of what snipers need to set up kill shots. Something to keep in mind. You also have never unlocked the nuke. Is the nuke the thing that you would get from the altar that we saw? Yeah, I saw the Illyrium tactical nuke in the research and development thing. We read that a few times in the past, but we never really knew how to get it. I'm assuming you get that from the altar, right? That enemy that creates the atomic explosion that we saw last time. It's a separate? There's a covert op for refined Illyrium. Oh, there's a covert op for it. Wow, interesting. I'm trying to find where the upgraded beam cannon is. I want to compare that to the other stuff. Where would the beam cannon? What is this? So this is just the standard SMG, right? This has mobility tied to it. Do the other SMGs apply mobility? I don't think the other SMGs give mobility, right? Is that like a unique thing to SMG, 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 SMG. This is giving 2 mobility. Did the other ones give 2 mobility, or did they just not take mobility? Yeah, I think the other ones don't give mobility. It's specifically the plasma one that does. Where's the coil SMG? That would be a great way to check. Oh, normal SMGs do? SMGs always gave mobility? Okay, never mind. Never mind, I'm just hallucinating, I guess. You guys like that noise? This is the sniper cannon, the plasma sniper cannon. Let's see how this compares to the Rishi variant. Since we know where the Rishi variant is, I think. I thought I saw it around here. Okay, well this is 12, 17, 8. 1 rupture, 20 crit chance. 12, 17, 8, 1 rupture, 1 crit chance. Where's my mech? Mech. 12, 17, 8. Crit chance. Okay, so the difference is that this thing gets 5 armor piercing. This is theoretically better against all boss units. Unless you need more weapon mods, but with this thing has 1 weapon mod slot. I'm assuming the other thing has 3 weapon mod slots. This is theoretically a little bit better against boss units with a lot of armor because of the 5 armor pierce, but against anything else, technically the beam cannon is a little bit better. This one doesn't ignore cover. Oh, okay, so this is actually like an actual gun. The beam cannon one goes through cover but gets damage reduction. So reliability versus damage. I think I would definitely prefer the Requiem variant more often. Although I might prefer the other one based on how it looks though. The other one does look kind of nice, I have to say.
Hey, Commander.
You want the high aim heavies with the LMGs. Yeah, let's find the LMG. I keep saying I'm going to look at the LMG, but I haven't seen it yet. The other one also has a reload animation. Oh, that would be nice. I'd like to play with that one just because it gave the animation. That does mean I don't have to use the Rishi Requiem cores on that gun too, if I wanted to save up on my cores. Tech level. Plasma. Class restriction. Or item category. Does that work? Ammo, armor, defense. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can find the beam cannon not upgrade, but variant. Plasma, muton rifle, scram gun, beam hand cannon, beam, where's the other beam thingy? Plasma rippling rifle. How much damage is that? 7 to 11? Turbulent plasma LMG, I think this is the one. You also didn't get the tier 4 standard armor plus the Metian battlesuit. Wait, there's a tier 4 standard armor? Huh. Do you just mean the regular battlesuits or something else? Turbulent plasma and laser tuned LMGs. Wait, what's the console command to just give myself all the research so we can look at everything nicely? Turbulent plasma LMG does 10 to 18 compared to this one, which does 11 to 15. So it's actually just more variance, technically on the higher end in terms of damage output. Plus 7 critical damage versus plus 6. So a little bit better critical damage also. And this is the sniper rifle. 14 to 22 damage versus... Ooh, that's a lot more damage. Hold up, this is much more interesting. Or is that turbulent thingy? Okay, that was much more interesting. Let me look at this. Plus 10 critical damage, shred of 4. Okay, this is what we want to build. This is what we want for all of our snipers. Holy shit, this does so much damage. And it brings back enemy within models too. Critical hits, damage potential, terrain destruction, and armor shredding. They typically do not pierce armor as well, are inaccurate. They don't pierce armor, who cares? It's shredding for 4. This is the boss killing weapon, I think. Cannot equip autoloaders or extended magazines, requires 2 actions to fire or overwatch. There's also the single shot laser version. Okay, so if I want less damage variant, so this is 14 to 22. Where's the laser variant? We'll look at that one also. Turbulent. Is it mastercrafted? Consistency. 4 armor pierce instead of 4 armor shred. 18 damage. Minus 20 critical chance. Oh, it's also a lot less critical damage. I think the minus critical chance as well as the crit damage, I guess this is to try to keep it as consistently 18 damage as possible. Let's compare that to the turbulent plasma rifle. I wish this was in alphabetical. That would be so nice. This is 14 to 22. Assuming my snipers always crit, this is actually 24 to 32 damage. You can't beat that. There's no way. There's no way you're ever beating that. Absolutely zero chance. 24 plus 32 divided by 2. Assuming even distribution of damage. This is 28 raw damage. It's just so much better than the other one. Remember, these only have 1 ammo. That's right. I remember. With your Fusiliers, I don't think they care too much, because Fusiliers always crit, and once you get to 3 charges, they get to do a free reload with their tracking shot mark anyways, right? You free shot, reload, and mark again. Yeah, that's pretty solid. For the Fusiliers that have serial, you're going to need to get a different gun though. Unless you have like a perk like lock and load, that would just be the chef's kiss if you got a lock and load Fusilier with this. Lock and load Fusilier with serial. I don't know if that's available in the random skill pool, but if we can get that combination, we have a soldier that can literally clean up the map by itself. And this is why Fusilier is not in the base collection. Oh boy. I think the one really good way to balance Fusilier is just make it so that it gets bonus aim and crit. As it levels up more, it'll get more perks to boost its aim and crit from tracking. So instead of giving it guaranteed hit and crit, make it so that like at early levels it gets maybe 30% aim and crit upon marking, and then as it levels up more, it'll get like 50% aim and crit until finally it gets like 100% aim and crit. That's honestly a very fair way to set it up. And if you don't want to make it into a perk that you have to take, you can make it so that, honestly, the Fusilier tree has a lot of perks that don't really matter for it too much. So I wouldn't mind it if the Fusilier lost a few perks and forced you to take those. And it would also balance it out quite a bit. Like, for example, does the Fusilier really care too much about any of these things on this line? Not really. I think Twin Shot is for your pistol SMG, so it's like, I wouldn't mind having something. Well, I kind of like Rupture. But it's a decision to be made, right? Yeah. I find that a lot of time Fusiliers don't really use their side perks. Like, they don't need run and gun. They don't need, like, the accuracy booster things usually. They do kind of need it when you have to shoot without steadying though. So there is some value in that. I have to admit, as you get to late game, certain missions don't let your Fusiliers mark as easily. The auto snipers are probably going to be reworked into a 2 ammo weapon with less of a damage bonus. At least that's my working theory with them. 2 ammo? Is there such a thing as a 2 ammo sniper rifle IRL? That's an interesting thought. Wait, hold up. Did we just get a soldier named Jesus? Oh shit, we literally have Jesus on the team. We're not playing this campaign out, of course, but... Let's see what perks the assault has. Has the assault class changed at all? Slugshot. I'm just kind of all over the place right now. I'm just kind of building up more knowledge about what's available and what's not available. So let's see if it has the Chain Lightning build. So it has the weaker Chain Lightning, only up to 5 targets. In the past, when Chain Lightning could hit everything on the field, it was the most powerful perk in the game. Chain Lightning, Disabling Shot. Unlimited power. What were the old Arc Thrower abilities again? Stun Gunner and Electroshock were mandatory for the Chain Lightning build. It seems like they replaced a couple of the perks. Fire the Arc Thrower at an ally to grant a bonus move action. What about that other perk that lets you hit mechanical enemies? Did that get taken out? Firing your Arc Thrower no longer ends your turn. This is kind of nice. Disabling Shot. When Run and Gun is activated, your Arc Thrower cooldown is immediately set to 0. Oh, that is nice! Okay, if we had a soldier build, this would be really cool if you had stuff like this. Activate this ability to make your next stun, Arc Pulse, or Chain Lightning a free action. Oh, you could do some really fun things with that. Oh, that is pretty neat. Is Taser Assault good? I say Taser Assault is very good, even if this is nerfed down to only 5 targets. Particularly because there's a lot of boss units in this game that can still be stunned. A 4-action stun once you do the Gatekeeper Autopsy is like a game winner. Like, imagine you have a Gatekeeper but you can't kill it, but everything else on the map is still a threat. Then you just double, like, 2-turn stun the Gatekeeper and then kill everything else during that time. It's so powerful. You can keep a thing indefinitely locked down because the Arc Thrower cooldown is 1 round, so you can Arc Thrower, cooldown, Arc Thrower, cooldown, Arc Thrower, cooldown. But if you have the tier 4 Arc Thrower, then that doesn't even matter. You can stun them for 2 turns. They'll be stunned on the turn you hit them, stunned on the turn that there's the cooldown, then you immediately stun them again. And if you have a high enough accuracy assault, you don't even have to get close to them. You can just shoot them from far away, and that's a great way to just taser them down. It's called the Arc Thrower, but I imagine it kind of like a taser, like it shoots a wire with like nodes on it that shocks the enemies. Okay, so an Arc Thrower Assault would be nice, or just an Arc Thrower anything. It doesn't have to even be an Assault. Just something with like Chain Lightning and Stun Gunner and Electroshock. I think these 3 perks really make up an Arc Thrower class. I guess these ones also now. These ones are also quite good too. Are there any other classes that get unlimited power as well as all 3 of these? Assault is also still a decent single target since you can... Yeah, for sure. Assault is still capable of fighting too. It's not like it's stuck to these things. Let me see, what else? It also has the Street Sweeper stuff, but at this point the Guerrilla class does this better, so you no longer really care about this stuff. You can still make the Super Killer Instinct Assault build. So close and personal gives you 30% crit chance, bring 'em on gives you crit chance, and then with a superior laser sight you pretty much have guaranteed crit on anything you target. With killer instinct you get plus 50% critical damage, and things die when you slam run and gun into a rapid fire. You would also take extra conditioning. You can forego aggression on this type of build. Extra conditioning allows you to have more run and guns faster, and you basically just run and gun every like 2 turns or something and just like one round an enemy. It's a really strong build. Definitely need lightning reflexes on this because so much stuff has overwatch capabilities when you close distance on them. And then you would also take, instead of chain lightning for the shooter build, you would just do something like this. And this guarantees any organic enemy or even machine will probably be dead if it's not a boss unit. And you can essentially have this soldier one-rounding enemies every single turn, and then all you need to do is find ways to keep them alive. If you're not taking zappy perks, you can take perks like, what do they have? Like, yeah, you can take like parkour, you can take like, Lone Wolf isn't bad. This type of unit is actually alone very often. You can take perks like Lone Wolf. Any damage boosting perks are automatically good on them. Resilience is incredibly good on this build if you ever need to have your backs to the enemies. Yeah, this is a very solid build. There is a reason for running Trench Gun build, even though the Guerrilla class is better, and that's if this class gets Phantom as well as Shadow Strike. If this class gets Phantom and Shadow Strike, then the Guerrilla build is perfectly viable. You would take stuff like this. I don't know if this unit can get things like, what's it called? I don't know if this unit can get things like, well, what is that perk called? I'm blanking on it right now. Hidden reserves, or what's that skirmisher perk, or that that perk that reduces your own cooldowns to 0. If you have a perk that reduces your own cooldowns to 0, this is also not a bad option too. But if you have a perk that reduces cooldowns to 0, I'd actually much prefer Chain Lightning at that point. I think Chain Lightning is just much better if you can get that. The other option would be to play with Close Combat Specialist. If you get something like Cool Under Pressure in the bottom row over here, this suddenly becomes an incredibly lethal option for killing mass groups of enemies. You basically take Lethal, you take Close Combat Specialist. I don't remember if Killer Instinct works on it or not, but you would basically just take like Aggression, Close Combat, or Close and Personal along with Bring 'em On. You stand this guy in the middle of a group of enemies on their turn, they'll run. This was nerfed since I last used it, because when I used it you could run into an unactivated pod and it would just kill the entire pod by itself. But right now, if you run into the middle of a group of enemies, they'll all try to run away, and since with Cool Under Pressure your shotgun can crit, they'll all just die if they try to run or fight. And if they don't have Shadow Step and Lightning Reflexes. There's some conditionals to that, which this mod might break, but this was a really potent combo if you could ever get that. Hidden Reserves? Yeah, I think it was Hidden Reserves. Okay, with Phasgord over here, we never really got to see Phasgord's true power, which is kind of a shame. But I think Phasgord's true power is really just going to be unlocked. I feel like this class needs one extra thing here in Master Sergeant for tanking, because there's a bunch of offensive options, but this isn't a class that really cares about thousands to go, kind of. Like, it's nice, but I don't think that's what makes it Master Sergeant for this class. Chasing Fire's okay, Cannonade's okay, but I think a class like this really wants perks like Impact Compensation, or Impact Field. It doesn't even need Impact Compensation. Impact Fields or Impact Compensation somewhere up here, or like a perk to regenerate armor slowly, like 1 armor per round, because there's a lot of stuff that shreds armor in this mod. So I feel like you would need just something to round out its identity, because its whole identity is tanking. It is basically the tank mech. And smoke, I guess. So if it's gonna do smoke, I guess Cannonade is fine because it gets smoke grenades. Even then, this isn't very useful for the smoke build. Gain 1 bonus use on all your grenades. That's good, that's good. And equip rockets. Being able to throw grenades further doesn't exactly help this class, though. Oh wow, I should probably take this on this one. This would have helped a lot. Why didn't I think about taking this? Wait, this is amazing. Why didn't I think about taking this? This is a... What? How did I not see this? Sixth Sense is amazing on a mech. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is how you would survive the atomic bomb enemy. You take Sixth Sense and just be immune to the atomic bomb. You can get like 12 smokes total. That is kind of nice. But I've noticed, Edster, that most of my missions, I don't actually go through 12 smokes. 6 at most. And maybe I was hoping for a little bit more than that, but I've never actually needed more than that. I think this class could use a bit, I think, let's see. So what's the door kicker? Door kicker is like bashing down things with your melee and shield, right? Seems like that's the case. Okay, so it has like a defensive option on the top row. It has a offensive melee in the middle row, like offensive shield melee, and then smoke grenades on the bottom row. An interesting take on it. I would say, if I were to say something about this class, the top row definitely needs like a tank perk, I think. If you want to give it like a shooty perk, it should be somewhere a little bit lower down. I feel like impact compensation or impact fields would be an excellent way to round this off. Sixth Sense would be nice too, but I can see that being just a random perk or a perk earlier on. Down here with Door Kicker, I guess this is fine if you're doing Door Kicker. I haven't played with this too much, so I can't exactly say too much about it. This is more of like tanking for the soldier itself while being offensive in the front lines. This is like being defensive in the back line, and this is like defensive while giving smoke to allies or something. This is kind of nice though. Smoke grenades provide temporary protection from fire, poison, acid, and explosive damage. This is actually incredibly powerful if you set this up. It's a shame that it competes with Aegis, but it's a fair comparison though. It's a fair competition in terms of perks, I would say. I could do either impact compensation or enhanced layered armor. Which one is enhanced layered armor? There's an XCOM row perk that generates smoke whenever you shield wall. Oh, that would be so nice if you pick that up. That would actually be really cool if you pick that up at some point. Okay, so we have an idea of what we're going to do with mech protectors. Pretty much it's just going to be the same build that we've been aiming for. Winter Sentinel, I'm pretty sure, is also going to be the same build. I think that's just the best build overall. I'm pretty happy with our Muton Warmaster also. The Wraith I didn't really get to play with too much, so I don't have much to say about it yet, besides what I've said immediately. This guy over here. Yeah, this guy I didn't really get to see too much action, but I think I would probably take a similar perk to that. Does he get to use any of the Requiem weapons? I don't think so, right? Yeah, you can't equip any of the Requiem weapons. It would be cool if he could equip the, what was that thing? There was like a cannon that lets you shoot twice or something. If he could hold that cannon, that would actually be a really good fit for this type of build. Skirmisher I'll probably build the same way. Combat Medic I'd probably build the same way. Arsonist class. I don't know if there's any differences with... Oh, Mr. No Arms show off here. Hey, check it out. I can move my flamethrower without any arms. I think this is very similar to what we saw last time, right? I don't think it changed too much. Gain a momentum action point after activating the canister special ability. I think that's different, kind of. Let's read through this a bit. Arsonist has not changed? Okay. Combat quote medic. That'll never not be funny. When a modder makes a medic build, but it's just so much better at killing than actually being a medic. Expanded canister, viscous accelerant, tank. That's good. If I were to do damage over time builds, I would definitely need to include an arsonist. I think this campaign, we didn't have an arsonist, so we didn't have more damage on our damage over time perks. And we relied a lot on the damage over time from our snake when it was still broken. But ever since they patched it, Our ability to dispatch Chosen has been a lot weaker, and our dots have also been a lot weaker. I think we want to have a soldier that has perks like these two, Salt in the Wound and Viscous Accelerant, to help really make the damage over time builds work out better. Heavy Hitter will also make your dots do more. Chemthrower attacks pierce and shred a small amount of armor. Bring them on. Pressure Blast, Burning Rush, Oppressive Heat, Nimble Hands, Close Combat Specialist, Resilience. What happened to his Arsonist? No arms and still holding a rifle. Put him in the psionics training. Oh boy, look ma, no hands. Lightfoot. I think these are the mandatory perks, I would say, as well as corroding compounds. It allows this soldier to, corroding compounds is because it allows this soldier to, actually no, this is fine too. One of these two is important. So the flamethrower is good at hurting organic enemies, but it doesn't do anything against mechanical enemies or anything immune to fire. By taking corroding compounds, you give the soldier a chance to do something about those enemies. Fulmination is fine too. It causes random detonations on enemy explosives, and some enemies have some really bad explosives, so it'd be really cool to just have them explode. I'm curious if the Legate has limited amount of explosives, so if you just get rid of all his grenades, he can't use them anymore. That would be kind of nice. That would actually give a lot of value to things like Fuse and Fulmination. Center Mass, Nightmare Fuel. Panic versus things that don't get burned is kind of nice too. I think I'd take something like this. Burning Rush to get into positions. Definitely taking Salt in the Wound. Can't be critically hit is probably required on this soldier because of the way they have to stand to activate their things. Hotshot is quite nice too though, and Fine Control lets me hit Overwatch without having to worry about killing my teammates. So I might take this just for that purpose. Parkour, Stalker, Takedown, Predator. Okay. I think with a soldier like this, we'd build it mostly dot-centric. So, damage over time perks like Viscous Accelerant. I think for a Chemical Division squad, we definitely have to have Viscous Accelerant. Now, the problem is, if I take Viscous Accelerant, yeah, I think I'd want to definitely have this. And then I would want to have allies that are capable of inflicting more dots with Salt in the Wound and Heavy Hitter. So we're going to be on the lookout for soldiers that have access to this and this. I don't think XCOM Grenadiers have access to this unless it's in their random tree, so that's unfortunate. But, did the Geneva have both Heavy Hitter and Salt in the Wound? I think Geneva and Pyromaniac, we have to look at both of those. Oh god, our people are just losing more and more body parts as we look at them more. Let's see. Heavy Hitter, Volatile Flare, Salt in the Wound. I think this is the bare minimum. If we have these two soldiers, that should be able to sustain the Chemical Division squad. So basically what we would do is we'd have that other guy apply Viscous Accelerant, and this guy would apply everything else, including the Bleed, Poison, and do we have Acid? Yes, and Acid. Bleed, Poison, and Acid would be covered by this soldier over here. So Bleed, Poison, Acid, other guy covers Fire, and all of these are boosted by Salt in the Wound plus Heavy Hitter. And then we would just need to apply Rupture to have the damage over times do even more damage. And I think Rupture would be covered by the Shredder class, if I'm not mistaken. Is this the Avatar? That's right. The Avatar is now capable of making its arms, legs, and torso disappear. Where is that guy? We'll write this down after I look at this last guy. We'll also look at the Stormtrooper class. I need to give that thing a few more chances. I have to say, the Bullpup is a weak weapon, but every class that wields it is a really strong class. Where is that guy? Arsonist, Pyromaniac, Shredder. Where's the Shredder guy? Did I lose all my Shredders? There's no way I lost all my Shredders. I think I lost all my Shredders. Damn it, I don't get to see their perks. Okay, we need to just add Rupture. So I think the Shredder class has a way of inflicting 3 Rupture. If not, I'll find a different class that can do it. Infantry as an Arc Thrower class. Infantry as an Arc Thrower class. Let me see Infantry. You got the Chain Lightning. You got the Stun Gunner. It's missing the Disorient if it misses perk. Oh, that's the one thing it needed to really, really cement itself in my eyes. This is still good though. Like, that's close enough as a unique perk that the Assault doesn't have. This is basically Blade Storm but with the Arc Thrower on one enemy. Oh, interesting. They moved Arc Pulsar from the Assault onto this guy. Weird. This is an interesting tech, but if you have Focus as well as that's close enough, you don't have to use Focus on just overwatching with your primary gun. Focus works on this, and what you can do is you can dash this soldier next to an enemy, and that'll auto-stun them if they try to do anything, as long as they don't have lightning reflexes or shadow step. That's quite an interesting combination. Quick Zap. Does this have the perk that makes the Arc Thrower get reset? I don't think so. This class does have improved suppression, which is nice. While you're waiting for your Arc Thrower cooldowns, you are able to suppress enemies. That's kind of nice. Improved suppression is quite powerful, actually, because it's minus 20 something accuracy from the Disorient as well as like minus 30 accuracy from the suppression. And because of the Disorient, the enemy is very unlikely to move and instead just hunker down. This class also comes with Call for Fire, which is actually a very powerful skill. If you have a lot of shooting type units, you can put them all into Overwatch. Like, imagine you have 4 snipers on your team, right? And you shoot with all of them on your turn. Then you activate Call for Fire. You basically get another round of shots with your soldiers. It's quite powerful. I can see this being really, really powerful on your snipers that have Overwatch perks, like the Destroyer class and its rapid reaction sniper Overwatch abilities. That sounds incredibly good. That and the medic stuff as well, Savior and Second Wind. Yeah, it also gets nice medic stuff. I would actually consider this more of a medic class than the other. Why is it that the one class that's called the Infantry, which makes you think it's relying solely on shooting, has all the supporting perks that you would want, Arc Throwers and medkits, but then when you come with like the combat medic or the, well, the surgeon actually acts like a surgeon, but that's because I gave him, that's because I made a no accuracy surgeon, but the combat medic class, it has the word medic in its name, but all it does is kill things. The combat medic should really have more healing perks. Oh, wild idea. Okay, here's a wild idea. Imagine you have the combat medic class, except instead of the shotgun, it has Ripjack as the primary weapon and Arc Thrower as a secondary. That way it doesn't overshadow the Skirmisher as a damage-dealing grappler. That would actually be incredibly fair while cementing their role as a support unit. And not only that, Because right now, all I'm going to be doing with them is just killing things with shotgun, right? I pull something to me and I just shoot it twice in the face with a shotgun. It's like a safer version of an assault, in a sense. To kind of cement its identity as a support unit, make it primary weapon Ripjack, secondary weapon Arc Thrower. You can still do damage with the Ripjack, but a lot less. And you can control enemies instead of just straight up killing them to allow the skirmishers the primary role of killing things with grappling. And that way they don't outshine a hero class, which is supposed to be like above a regular soldier, because these are supposed to be like on the level of a regular soldier. And then you have reasons to actually keep them around still for med kitting. I would say that's probably the best way to build them. Allow them to do Ripjack stuff, but still med kit. And then have Arc Thrower perks with them so they can do like a little bit of everything. And they have like perks like Grapple Expert and stuff for like accurate grapples and stuff. That would be fair, honestly. I have no clue how primary Ripjack works. Would you be able to just list either Arc Thrower or Ripjack as a primary weapon, but just give them the same exact abilities? Or does that break everything in the code when you try to turn a secondary weapon into a primary? Because I was just imagining like finding a way to slot both those in, but not changing them up any other way. Looking at it, Combat Medic has no healing skills beyond the innate Paramedic. That's good, but also... yeah, that doesn't make sense, right? Because when I first saw the Combat Medic, I was like, oh cool, a unit that grapples around and heals people around the battlefield. But that's kind of made null by the point that you have the run and heal perk on Paramedic, which I also find not necessarily necessary to have all units have that. And also the fact that, yeah, it doesn't really need it. Maybe the grappling is needed for like really long range healing. I can see that actually. Like, imagine you have a soldier dying on the other side of the battlefield, like your assault. Then you might need to like grapple up to them so you can quickly heal. I can see that. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that would be the issue. Okay, so it would be a code thing. You'd have to have empty primary, Ripjack secondary, Arc Thrower, and pistol slot. That could work. Would you have to like build a new Arc Thrower though, or could you give them like a free Arc Thrower? The important thing is that they have to be able to hold both those things. You could also make it so that like if you want them to do damage, you can still train them up in pistols. Although I guess it might feel weird if they have an empty secondary, maybe give them a combat knife or something. I don't know, that might still compete with the skirmisher for damage because combat knives are pretty good in this mod. I don't know, something that does less damage than the skirmisher though. Because right now, the way I see it, those guys are pretty much just one-rounding Advent troopers, harder than these guys can one-round them. Maybe? Okay. Well, that's just an idea. I don't want to like make you guys do anything specific. This is just me throwing out ideas of what I think would make for a more balanced version of certain classes. Because I know Pet Rock was asking for ideas. The Bishop class, I didn't really get to do too much with Dr. Freppa after he got captured. But the idea of having a bunch of breaths was really cool with the teleport perk. Unfortunately, we'll never get to use it. You know, I would not mind giving these guys the teleport perk on Master Sergeant. I would use that. I feel like it's a really cool concept of a soldier that can just teleport in and use any type of breath. They do come with invert, which is neat. Bishop is getting a complete rework. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Another thing I want to talk about is the hacker class. Oh yeah, and before I forget about this, let me type out our ideas. So we want to have a team that has both this. This is going to be disorganized for now, but I just want to... so we need the arsonist. We need the pyromaniac. And we need a shredder. Or just anything with rupture. So when we make our teams in the future, maybe let's bold this. This will be the chem squad. Okay. This isn't really part of any squad, but I'm just gonna label this as must have rockets. Okay, so those are like the must-have stuff on those things. If we want to make chem work, we have to have at least those three. Those are like the bare minimum of any squad that we run. What's next? I think I was gonna look at the agent class. Agent. So we need a stealth class. Multiple stealth squad units. I did want to run a bunch of dragoons, but they're taking a little bit too long to level up before they become functional, and that's kind of a problem for what should be a stealth squad. A squad of only pistol primary classes, Hitman could scout. Arcthor as well as a bunch of shinobis. We'll need to figure all that stuff out. Okay, for the stealth squad. Stealth hacking squad, kind of. The agent class has the highest hack growth in the game despite not having a gremlin, and that's because the agent class is meant to either be like a stealthy sniper type unit or a run in there and hack things type unit and just like use their combat knives. I think I'm gonna have my agent be more of a stealth guy. With Shadow Melt, he'll be able to go back into stealth pretty easily. They also come with the Lightfoot perk, which gives them a little bit more stealthiness, which is kind of nice. This is one of the few classes that can make use of a Skulljack, and giving them Packmaster actually gives them a lot of utility on their Skulljack. I'm heavily considering taking Packmaster over Conceal. That way they can go on bigger missions and deal with the Custodian boss units. I think Combatives is necessary. If a Berserker runs up to this team, they need someone to deflect because they don't have a lot of raw damage and Phantom, stuff like that. But the Agent as the officer is the main thing because as the officer, you give your nearby allies a little bit of your stats if you're higher ranked or if you have higher stats than them. And this actually helps all of our hackers. So ideally, we'd actually get a bunch of hack boosts on the officer agent. That way everyone else gets a lot of hack boosts. But the main thing though is I want a hijacker as well as an agent as the main kind of people on the hacker stealth team. And then after that we just need like super stealth units. So over here, let's stealth. Stealth squad definitely wants an agent, definitely wants a hijacker. The hard part about this is when people die, replacing these types of units is kind of tough. Because when you lose a hijacker with like a bunch of enemy protocols under their belts, that's really difficult to replace. So I think for sure we'd want something like gene modded life support for the agent at least, because that's the officer, and maybe the hijacker. So we'll also remind ourselves gene mod life support. Definitely want to make sure that these types of units don't die and don't get put at too much risk. Gene mod life support. There we go. And then after that, we want a couple of dragoons for the ECMs. So, what other units can learn ECM besides dragoons? If we could replace them, that would be nice too. But dragoon class. Let me take a look at our dragoon classes. Did I lose all my dragoons also? No, I didn't. Good. Building a stealth agent in the late game has 2 dead ranks. Yeah, that's another problem. You have to do it early. You can't do it late. Okay, let's see. So this is a class that I really like for the hacker squad because they have something unique. They get Puppeteer and they get Full Override. The problem is this class, the modders wanted to flesh out their identities as less of a stealth unit and more of a support tank hack type unit. So they lost Phantom over here. They used to have Phantom at some point around here. I think Phantom competed with Containment Field or something, and they lost that. So that's unfortunately an issue. I have to reach Tech Sergeant to be able to have any form of stealthing on this unit. Unless they can roll Phantom down here. Wait, I have a question. Tedster, does botnet stack if I have multiple botnet units? Because if that's the case, I might just run like 2 hijackers or something. I'm assuming it doesn't. Like you can't like lower hack defense by 20 per shot. Plenty of other stealth classes. It's true, but only this class gives ECM. ECM is so good. Lowering stealth by, or increasing stealth by 10% is just so powerful. No, says Marist? Okay, that's good to know. So I can't have multiple botnetters, that's... Thank you very much for that answer, by the way, Marist. We got more modders in our chat right now. I really want to have more of these guys as a stealth unit, though. They just don't get Phantom, which hurts them a lot, and they'd only get Stealth Protocol all the way at Tech Sergeant. You have to really, really work hard on training them up. Are there any other stealth units that get that? I'm out of supplies. What's the console to give more supplies? I want to just like check out more units and stuff. Was it like give resource resource type? Was it like supply? Oops. Supply 100 or something? Is that it? I don't think that's it. Give resource supplies. Okay, oops. Give resource supplies. Did that work? No, that did not work. Give resources one word. Oh. Give resource supplies. There we go, okay. I think it's recruit. Where's recruit? Where's that rookie? Wait, where's the rookie? Where did he go? Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Hold up. My mistake. There we go. Okay, so is there any class here that gives ECM besides the Dragoon? That's what I want to know. Any class that gives ECM. Does the Hitman give ECM? I think the Hitman gave something else. It was the other version where it gives you crit chance for the squad. Check the Executioner. Does the Executioner give it? Executioner. I think we have an Executioner class in here. Or did they die? They might have died. I think it might... Executioner, do you get ECM? Professional Killer, Phantom, Shadow Step, Cold Case, Cutthroat, Serial Killer, Thousands Go, Butcher. No ECM, unfortunately. Wrong class. Maybe Hitman gives it? I don't think Hitman gives it. Does Ronar have any mercenaries left? They could have it? Mercenaries? Ooh, that's a good question. Mercenaries. Did that mercenary that I had previously die? I think he might have died. Nope, he's here. He's here. Okay, does the SMG give... Okay, so SMG gives Phantom. I don't think any of that gives ECM. SMG... Stalker, Conceal, Quick Feet. No, I don't think so. Unless... Nope. I'm thinking of the one that gets Phantom and a shotgun. Are you talking about the Gorilla? Some secondaries might also give it, like Knives or the Gremlin. Oh, Knives or the Gremlin. Oh, that's a good point. Hold up, let me look at the Mercenary again. Oh, shoot, I lost it. Where are you, Mercenary? Drones has ECM with one of the BU research. Oh, drones have it. Interesting. But drones can't get Phantom though, right? Unless I just bring a drone on every single mission with us or something and just let it die. Okay, so you're saying the secondaries might have it. I guess it would be Knives or Gremlin at this point. Bit, maybe. Hack, Haywire Protocol. Gremlin has Hack, Haywire Protocol. Rescue Protocol, Shell Shock, Medical Protocol, Rocketeer, Shield Protocol, and Bombard. Nah, unfortunately not. Drones also have a big detection range anyways, that makes sense. Seems like that is not what we wanted, though. Mad Jack? I don't think the Mad Jack would have it, but let's take a look. Electronic Warfare, Fade, Escalation, Chem Adapted, Grenade Trap, Lightfoot, Threat Assessment, Mad Jack, Crusader's Rage, Containment Field, Stealth Protocol. No. Alright then, I guess it has to be Dragoon if we want an ECM squad. I either have to just double down on training Dragoons up to Tech Sergeant. There it is, what it is. Or are we just mentioning like where we could find stuff? Roboticist, what those things? Enigma drone. Oh, an Enigma drone. Let's see. Can I build one?
New orders, Commander?
I don't see it here, unfortunately. But it's still weak. Okay, to be fair, even if our Dragoon isn't Tech Sergeant, I think we'll still just do Dragoons, although it takes a lot more to train them up. But let me find them real quick so I can point it out. Okay, so the problem with Dragoon that doesn't let me go stealth is that one, they had Phantom taken out, and two, they lost their SMG. However, there is still ways to make them into a stealth unit, technically. I don't know if I have the armor. If we give them the Mirage armor, anything can become a Phantom unit. Just gotta wait till late game when we get to Illyrium tech. Easy, guys. Just gotta get our Dragoons to Illyrium tech, then give them the Phantom suit. Oh my god. Don't worry, guys, that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna force this to work no matter what happens. We will have our stealth squad. Okay, so let's type that in. So, Dragoon Requiem stealth suit. Okay, so Dragoon was the Requiem stealth suit, and we would just run like multiples of these. So, something like that. This is 30% AoE reduction, and we have our agent giving hack stat to our hijacker and dragoons. The other option is to replace one of the dragoons with a shinobi or hitman. Hitman is actually quite okay for stealth builds just because of the knife perk that gives you stealth upon kill. So if we wanted to do that, that's all options for us. What about the Spectre concealment item? Is that still consumable? No, it's reusable. Oh, that's nice too. We can use the Spectre concealment item as a temporary way to set that up. And if they get Phantom in their pool, we don't even have to wait for that, of course. I'm pretty sure you'll be lucky and get a hijacker with ECM at the start, and this guy will never die. That's the spirit Toki. That's what I like to hear. Someone promote that guy to a mod. Okay, what's next? For other squads that we want to do, this squad will be in charge of doing things that no other squads can do, like getting UFO hack missions, that kind of stuff. That's kind of what I want the squad to be capable of doing. We'll be on the lookout for any units that come with things like tradecraft and stuff. Anything that lowers their detection radius will be helpful. I'll probably end up giving units like these chameleon suits instead of armor and just try to never get hit. Just don't get hit, guys. It's so easy. So I think we probably want to take Rishi's advice to take balanced squads. On big missions, we'll take balanced squads. But for example, if I don't need to fight Rishi's stuff, then I don't have to fight Rishi's stuff. I can just have my my jackers run in there and hack things, re-stealth, and walk away, right? That would be the dream for certain types of missions. I want to just have a squad that can do missions without having to worry about combat too much. What other squads? We will need a squad for big missions. Things like Chosen Avenger Defense. I should really think about a squad for Chosen Avenger Defense, honestly. Just defense squad. This should be like our biggest concern. The defense squad needs carries. Probably like at least 4 carries. Usually snipers or squad side type units or just heavy damage crit units. And we also need to make sure we have defense. And we also need to have enough support. Now, support. Okay, so what will fall under these categories is support. We need a hollow targeter. That is one thing that I've severely missed having on my campaigns. Every single mission with big enemies that you can't afford to miss, you need to have a hollow targeter. So whether it's a hollow targeter sniper or a recon, sharpshooter / recon, I want something with a hollow targeter. That is 100% very, very important. Rockets are actually underneath this too, so let's do that. I guess that counts as support also. Rocketeers are basically support. We must have shredder rockets for dealing with boss units. Are we gonna march? We're probably gonna march, Basti. There's not much we can really do with this campaign anymore, I think. Let's go in Project Atlas. Or don't provide me with endless content, says Rishi. You'll see. You'll all see. Themed squads will be fun, and they'll be cool and effective. You'll all be laughing now, but when my themed squads cheese the game, you're all gonna be sorry. So sniper classes. Any type of sniper class would count as a carry. I want to say shotgunners are important, but it's kind of risky running them into a group of enemies. I need more like safe units. Unless I design my team around running into the enemy team, that's fine too. Mech Protector, that's just the obvious one. I haven't really gotten the chance to use many of the Shield Organic soldiers. I could give those a go. Shield Organics. Smoke Grenaders would follow under that. Officer. If we can have roles overlap, that's good. Like, for example, Kale, our shield bearer this time, was an excellent smoke grenader plus officer. So, ooh, something happened. So that was good. Officer, I think like the shield bearer was an excellent officer. If we could get like a smoke grenader to be our officer, I'd take that any day. What we need is a god tier specialist class. I remember back in Long War 2, I loved having a specialist and just being able to medical protocol from like across the map. That was so nice. I remember that. Rishi drinks tears out of a wine glass. No, I drink them out of a campy mug while cozy in a blanket. Overly fancy life is highly overrated. Hey, someone who holds the same beliefs I do. Been there, done that, wouldn't do it again. Yeah, I like the commando officer, although I think I like the shield bearer smoke officer a little bit more. Also, we never got to fully rank up Kale, but at the higher ranks, Kale has an ability that makes it so that smoke prevents explosive damage from being dealt to the team. I think that probably works against the atomic bomb enemy. So assuming that actually works, that would be an incredibly powerful smoke ability to have, and just completely tank the Illyrium explosion thingy move that we saw last time. Let's see, so if I were to run this, I think I'd want like about 2 to 4 snipers. Skirmisher is good at fishing out advent troopers, which is why I have him in here, but he's not really necessary. Shotgunner. What else do we need? Arc throwers, right? I think we need an arc thrower person. Arc thrower. Do we need suppression? Suppression might help. It gets past things like close combat specialist for certain classes. Although if we give all our melee units Shadow Step, then it wouldn't be as necessary, but if I don't give them Shadow Step, I'll have to have that. The combat medic class would help the defense squad. Yeah, definitely combat medic. Just any sort of medic, actually. Medic. This is incredibly disorganized, but it'll have to do for you guys for now. Okay, so these are our damage dealers. I'm finding that melee, which was my preferred way of dealing guaranteed damage, is kind of a lot riskier now because of all the enemies that counter melee. Another thing is a lot of enemies have melee resistance now, which is kind of a problem. I think I might need my melee people to have a little bit more than just raw damage that tends to get resisted by enemies a lot. Haven't included methods to bypass Sixth Sense yet, says Rishi. Sixth Sense and Fortress are just cheaty abilities. I personally always find things that bypass the mechanics of the game to be kind of not great for the game unless they're really well balanced around it. Like, for example, the Fusilier's guaranteed shot. I always felt like that should instead just be like plus a certain amount of accuracy and crit. Same with like things that guarantee damage. Like in regular Long War 2, when there weren't all these counters to melee attackers, Shinobis were like the strongest class in the game just because you could just point and click on every enemy in the game and just kill it in one hit. And there was pretty much no accuracy check to it. But now in this mod though, there is technically some risk involved in it. But in general, I feel like there should be risk involved in everything. And there should be as few guarantees as possible. That's what I like, at the very least. What is this tables thing? Get out of here. Okay, so we have some idea of what we need for our defense squad. We need 12 units, so let's think about this. Skirmisher, shotgunner, mech protector, smoke grenader. I think I would have the officer comboed with smoke grenader. Officer would be something, so I don't need to have officer listed here. I just need to make sure that I have 12 units of some sort. I have one rocket guy, so this is just all one thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If I did decide to run 4 of these, so let's say I'm running 4 carries, okay? So just 4 overall. I just need 8 of these things to support them. Hollow Targeter is a must, that's 1. Smoke Grenader is probably a must, that's 2. Mech Protector is a must, 3. And Rocketeer is 4. Then I would need like a medic to combo with something. So I guess Combat Medic would be one of these. So yeah, let's list that in here. So let's do like a final list. So snipers times 4 maybe. Combat medic, just at least 1. Then mech protector, smoke. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Rocket. 8. 9. I can also run like an infantry medic that would cover arc thrower and medic, and then switch this out for something else. And just having multiple medics doesn't hurt. If one medic goes down, you really want to have 2, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. Oh, stealth. I need a stealth unit. What's a good stealth unit? I'll just type in stealth for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and one more. I guess that can be a flex plot. But for now, something like this. I'll just put this a little bit closer. Alright, so that's like an idea for what our defense squad should look like. Chem squad has like 2 flex spots open. Maybe even like a second arsonist just to have just have 2 ways to apply the thing, and a second pyromaniac. Or more rupture, I don't know, something of that nature. If an enemy has an explosion immunity, you don't have to explode them. What do you mean? My loathing of Sixth Sense / Fortress is that they're specifically designed to cheat the enemy team of their actions. That's true. But most of these perks on the XCOM team are to exploit the AI. I mean, a meaningful type of perk list for both sides would be to have a nice back and forth exchange with each other. It's also why I like tank perks, because it at least lets you take hits from the enemies, even if you take very little damage. You take some hits, you might receive shred, you might receive like mental disorientations or whatever effects the bullets or attacks might have. I think all of that is quite interesting, being able to have all that stuff. I think something that would be really interesting is if Mind Shield, instead of preventing any sort of mental effects, instead it gives like some sort of resistance to it. Like for example, instead of just resisting mind control completely, it would just give you like 100 or 200 side defense. Maybe the upgraded versions of Mind Shield would give you more will or something like that. I think that would be a much more interesting thing than just straight up negating stuff. Of course, that doesn't answer how they would resist stuns and disorients. I don't know how that would factor in. Actually, no, you guys have perks that resist disorients, like 75% chance to resist disorient. You could do something where it's just like it has a high chance of resisting stuns and stuff, but not guaranteed. Downgrades mind control to panic and panic to disorient. That's another way to do it. You can make it so that it's still chance oriented, but gives you a lot of will and downgrades any issue. So like mind control would get downgraded to panic, panic would get downgraded to disorient, and then there's actual interaction there rather than just complete negation. Flashbang resistance is done in a not great way. I see. Okay, so we have an idea of what we're doing with those guys. Let me delete this actually. Defense squad is set up there. Excellent. Oops. Oh god, what just happened? Okay, that's not what I wanted at all. I think I wanted to copy, paste special. I think I have to, was it values only? There we go. Okay, so we have an idea of what we're doing with these guys. Stealth squad is pretty much set. Chem squad is pretty much set. What other types of squads do we need? We need squads to do get on point missions. So stealth squad can basically do any hack mission that's preferably not get on point, because there's some risk of getting caught and not being able to escape. But they can also do the ones where you have to hack from a van and run out, as long as they have enough stealth. Chem squad. Chem squad is just kind of there to be added onto certain types of missions that chosen and boss units might show up on. So like if I don't have enough people in defense squad, I can throw in chem squad, or if I have like a retaliation mission that I have to do, I can throw chem squad on that. Another type of mission is get on point missions. So what would our get on point mission be? These would be like the high intensity, fast paced units. So more shotgunners, right? Shotgun classes would be good. Melee classes would be good. Things that close distance and make short work of groups of enemies without having to worry about much. This is where things like high mobility, we definitely need like a stealth scout. Shadow units are great for this type of mission. You don't mind that you only have 2 turns of stealth and everything. Coffer missions. We ate a lot of shit on coffer missions. Coffer missions. From a design perspective, I think on XCOM side, most of the power should be bundled into active power. Oh, I see what you mean. Like, instead of just having passive, like, resistances to certain things, they should have the ability to actively go in, fight the enemies, or actively try to heal teammates from effects. I see what you mean. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like, instead of just being immune to mind control, have people with perks to heal mind control. I agree with that. You should try to get a Hell Knight. If they get a kill each turn, they can phase walk plus shotgun each turn. That's kind of an interesting idea, Hell Knight. For example, Sacrifice. It's a great tank perk, but if it was just a passive AoE, it'd be absurdly powerful. I agree with that. I could see a Hardened Mind active ability that gives you 1 turn of mental immunity on a cooldown. I could see that too. If it's on a cooldown and it's timed, that's fine because you're in a sense reacting to the enemy possibly doing something to you, and if you mess up the timing, there is that risk to it, right? Like if the sectoid doesn't decide to mind spin you, then you've wasted it. That's kind of an interesting concept. Although I don't know if I'd ever take that as a perk compared to everything else, unless everything else completely sucked though. Okay, so get on point type missions. We need shadow units, maybe at least 1 stealth scout, shotgun, melee. You can have multiples of these added in, or just straight up shooters. Let's see. Melee would take care of small fry as well as possibly countering mutons if it comes with combatives. Although even combatives isn't super reliable now because mutons get to attack twice, which is kind of scary if you think about it. You wouldn't want your melee tanking a chance to get knocked unconscious. And as well as late game, we're going to be fighting stronger boss type units. So we need ways of dealing with Requiem units using our get on point squad. What kind of tools do we have for dealing with that? They would need things like Freeze. Freeze is incredibly good against Requiem. That prevents them from taking their actions and allows us to bully them a bit harder. We also need Shred of some sort. Improve suppression, freeze, arc thrower. Yeah, those are the main choices there. If I were to pick, I would probably pick auto snipers. Oh, you mean the high damage shots? Yeah, auto snipers would be nice. I think we need high damage, so shotgun and melee has high damage covered. We probably need damage from distance too. Range damage. And then we need to find a way to mix in frost onto them. How do we do that? You know what? While I'm thinking about this, let's work on the chill team. I did say I wanted to make a frost squad. And maybe I'll get some ideas for what to do with the frost squad. So the first things first is the technician. I've tried making our technicians work, but I think it was just too late in the game and too many of them were squatty. They just kept dying. But I do want to try making a frost technician work. So how would I build a frost technician? I guess puppeteer, which is kind of interesting. Trojan horse, failsafe, frost protocol. Inflicts bitter frost. I think the faster we can inflict bitter frost, especially on groups of enemies if possible, the better. So let's find if there's ways to inflict bitter frost on groups of enemies. When you take a standard shot or a sniper shot at a target affected by chill or freeze, you gain a standard action point back once per turn. Once per turn. Technically, this is double freeze and a lot of damage. If I double chill and a lot of damage if I build crit on this guy. Shooting sharp, supercharge, freeze protocol. This is just a straight up freeze, which is nice. Bitter Frost Mine is excellent. Winter Protocol is excellent for AoE freeze. This is a great way to get freeze before the battle begins and still have an action next round. This is another option. It gives us an extra action point. When it says support gremlin abilities, does that also mean the offensive ones too? Aid protocol, shield protocol, medical protocol, rescue, stealth, stronghold, phalanx, revival, scouting, airdrop, mist, and okay, so none of the stuff that we actually want to do works with that. Chilling critical. A non-turn ending shot that costs 2 ammo and applies bitter frost. The only theme squad that worked was Grapple, Frost, and in theory, Mutons. You know, it's true though, the Grapple squad worked really, really well. They were excellent at just about every mission they went on. Maybe I'll make that as one of our get on point squads. Frost, you need to get the Bitter Frost things, yeah, for sure. I need to like build the equipment for it, which is another side grade that I'll have to go for. Tester, I have a question, or any modders. If I hit something with Frost Snap and I crit it, does that apply 2 stacks of chill? Because that would be really awesome if we applied 2 stacks of chill with that. Then I would actually be incentivized to try and go a crit build. Believe so? Yes? Okay. Then we would try to do chilling critical builds instead of Frost Protocol. Send your gremlin to assist in an allied unit's aim and crit strike for 1 turn. 20 aim and crit, 15 aim. So for the majority of the game, we'd get 15 aim and crit. What's this one? 15 aim and crit whenever the targeted enemy cannot see the soldier. Technically, this is a squad site unit, so this does actually have relevance. I can also use aim assistance protocol. I don't know if this is one action, but if it is, I can get away with using Frost Snap with it. So one of these two, plus chilling critical, would give this guy a laser sight. Tempting to take this one's mine, but I'd rather take Winter Protocol. So once he's like not able to get good shots, he'd switch over to using Winter Protocol and Snowball Protocol. And we would just try to apply AoE Frost. So he has ways to apply a lot of Frost to one target, as well as AoE Frost to multiple targets. That should be good. I like that. And then for his last thing, non-turn ending shot that costs 1 ammo and applies Bitter Frost, replaces Frost Snap and has no cooldown. Does Frost Snap have a cooldown? Is this just for the ammo conservation? I think this is just for the ammo conservation. I'm okay with just giving him a gun that has a lot of ammo, because damage isn't really his big forte, so he doesn't need that 1 ammo super damage shotgun. Quick Feet is an okay option for the engagement, but I think I'd rather go for Bitter Frost Blooded. That way he can shoot as well as activate his abilities. No cooldown. Master Sergeant perk is for ammo conservation. Okay, so it's mostly for ammo conservation. Now, here's the question. Would I rather be able to shoot and then activate Frost Protocol, or would I rather be able to shoot and shoot? I think it really depends on the soldier's accuracy. If the soldier has really shitty accuracy, I'd probably prefer Frost Protocol instead of chilling critical. But if he has really good accuracy, I'd probably prefer chilling critical. So I'd probably build something like this. But this is one of our Frost units, so let's throw that in. Technician. Let's also set up the Winter Sentinel. We know that that guy's going on the mission for sure, or on the squad for sure. What were the other things that could inflict chill? The priest was able to inflict chill, I remember that. I I think like half my squads have died, so I don't even know like if this will properly label them all. No, it won't. Viper Marauder can apparently do chill. Priest can also do chill. Just anything that can do chill I think is overall good. I think you can also do things like chill pistol shots. Lightning hands into multiple pistol shots would work pretty well. The Frost Division will be something that can go on missions by themselves. I think I'll just use whatever I get. Frost Units X3. But basically this is a great squad for dealing with alien rulers. Alien rulers cannot escape unless they get fixed. But it's also great for dealing with things like... I don't think Chosen can be affected by this, so they will not participate on missions with Chosen. But this is quite strong against quite a few enemy types, especially if there's a melee boss out there like a Berserker. You hit them with enough chill, they just won't be able to move at all. And I actually really appreciate it. There is a Frost Purifier. Well, the build Ronar likes is staying, I think. Adder Viper. Okay. I think it'll really depend on what we roll though, so we'll just leave this open as ×3. But this is a squad that'll take on non-chosen missions, and they should be able to do certain missions, like they'll be able to do stealth missions and get on point missions whenever stealth squad isn't available or get on point squad isn't available. So I think that should be fine. There was like a Viper variant that also spat chill stuff, so that's kind of cool. Priest can also do it, and there's a decent amount of stuff that can do it. Also, if I do things like Grenadier with Bitterfrost grenades, that's also a fine option if I just can't get any other ways to inflict it. Honestly, if you have like a Salvo Grenadier with Bitterfrost grenades, you can probably freeze an entire enemy team very quickly. Oh yeah, actually, that's a great combo. If I'm doing a mission, right, and we're still in stealth, and we come across a technician, and we have a technician on our team, I think we can plant a Bitterfrost mine. Yeah, there we go. We can use this comboed with this, or use this comboed with like a Grenadier and their Bitterfrost grenade, and you can just like apply 2 chill to the entire enemy team. And then after that, I'm pretty sure Kermie is just unkillable if Kermie just stands out there and hits things. Or not Kermie, just the Winter Sentinel in general. Where is that soldier? I want to look at that soldier one more time. So if you can apply Mass Frost to the enemies, with Indomitable, as well as, what is that perk? Sentinel's Hide, I think is the one. Or was it this one? Glacial Armor. You'll take less damage from enemies suffering from Bitterfrost depending on severity. Yeah, if you have like a combination of all that stuff stacked on top of this soldier, and if they just happen to get a little bit more tank stuff, then you could actually have a soldier that takes 0 damage while standing out in the open, and then you could just have the soldier rush in, bind things, do whatever the heck they want to the enemies. I kind of like this plan quite a bit. I wanted to test if Bitterfrost rounds plus Frost Snapshot plus Bitterfrost on crit would freeze the enemy right away, but I lost my technician before I get the rounds. Oh, that's so F. It would have been so nice to know if that actually worked. I think it might. Ooh, maybe we do go full crit then. That squad would want a Hollow Targeter on the team with them. You could make an Insta-Frost unit. Oh, wait. That is actually quite interesting. The Technician class then would no longer be relegated to only the... If they can apply Frost by themselves, the Technician class might actually be relevant on even like the Defense Squad. He might actually get a role as like one of the snipers here. That's a very interesting point that you bring up there. Bitterfrost Technician with crit might actually insta-freeze. That's excellent. Okay, that's excellent, Toki.